Princess, you could never guess how happy I am to be here.
Yeah, I bet you are.
It's a good thing you don't bring your old man along on trips like these.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's just leave my husband out of it.
This love affair. This love affair. This love affair. Oh, my heart.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello.
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? What's good, my brother?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. You know, the technicals, we're trying to do the technicals. No disrespect to tech, our brother. I'm just talking about the other kind of technicals.
Oh, the other kind of the real technicals.
The gremlins are trying to, you know.
What we used to say on radio back in the day, the gremlins.
Exactly. Yeah. But thankfully all is good, you know what I mean? And belly full, ready to have a great conversation.
'Tis Monday, 'tis 9 o'clock. We are here, the real SoundCheck podcast. A few members. We're going to be joined by Mr. Diesel later on. It's another week. Big shout to all of those that have participated, especially on the games weeks that we've had, and the challenges and stuff like that. But this week we're still gonna banter, we're still gonna have fun, but all in the name of a good, solid interview with our special guest. But let me find out how your week's been, brother. How's your week?
I'm good, sir. By the way, for those who've just joined us for the first time ever, thank you for joining us. This is the Real SoundCheck podcast. I go by the name of Dave Knight, and that guy right there.
Oh, you actually got it right, and I did too. That's it. We got it right. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Butch Cassidy.
Yeah.
And we just chop it up, catch up for a little bit, and then we have various aspects. But today we've got an interview with a very special guest, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And don't forget to share this stream with a couple of friends of yours. Don't forget this is live. We don't record and then chop to make it look good.
No,
it's just live.
Live.
Raw, riggedy raw. Can't remember which group that was. Oh, maybe it was
Das Effects.
Yeah, I don't know if they were the first to say that riggedy raw, but that style of
bum,
skiddy.
Yeah. All of that, the riggedy diggity, the diggity biggity. Yeah.
Way before it got into the other side of things. Anyway, I digress. The week's been pretty good.
Yeah?
It's been pretty good. No real complaints or qualms and whatnots. The only slight kind of like...
okay, go on.
Was I took myself to seek out a film that only seemed to be in a couple of cinemas.
Okay.
It was like the posters were there, but it wasn't in every cinema. I was like, oh, that's strange.
Okay.
So I made my way to North London, whereas my locals are, sort of more central after work. And,
What's the name of the film?
The name of the film was Seize Them.
Seize Them?
Yes.
I didn't hear about what Seize Them. What's that about?
Yes. So it's like a ye olde England jaunt,
right?
Which try to hit certain, I guess, comedic elements, but didn't seem to quite hit the mark for me. There were some humorous elements, one or two, but I think they were meant to be more in terms of audience laughing out loud.
Right.
Stuff. But yeah, it just didn't.
Didn't hit the spot.
No, not for me. There were, think of sort of like a Monty Python, but without the Python and the Monty.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the sort of, not necessarily a bad side, but it was just a little bit of a slight disappointment, shall we say, that I thought I was going to get something, an undercover gem that I could share with people and say, check this out before it goes, because it's like really kind of funny. It was a nice cast and they did a decent job. Nice, put together nicely, but yeah, as a whole, it wasn't quite there. What you might prefer, oh gosh, what was it called? Wicked Little Letters or something. It was.
Is it actually good?
Wicked Little Letters is decent. It is.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's decent.
I've seen the promo, and yeah, it looks inviting. It looks like a little sit down for I'll definitely take that on board. Might even see if Mumsy wants to go see it. So.
Oh, maybe not Mumsy going.
Why?
Unless she's okay with one too bad word.
Yeah, she's fine with it. She's fine.
Okay, then it should be fine. Yeah,
she's fine.
Because sometimes no matter how old we get.
Yeah. No, my mum's understandable. You know what I mean? She's certain people.
What kind of film you take me?
You take me to it? Yeah. No. She's all right. She's all right.
That's good.
Oh,
and
come on. My granny's favorite actor was Bruce Lee. She used to send me video shop, and I said video, to the video shop to hire kung fu movies and come back and watch them with her.
Nice.
That's what my granny was in. Yeah, that's what we used to do when we were summer holidays. Yeah, so
I was
films
a
and
fan.
anything like that. And I used to try and bring home one, and she'd be like, "Yep, seen it." I said, "What?" I said, "Nah, man, I got that off my friend. It's just like, nope, seen that one. That's the one where he kicked down this one and he done this and that." She knew everything. She knew everything.
When you used to have a membership card.
Yes. Those were the days.
You've already taken out 2. You can't take out any more until you bring the other ones back.
Until you bring the other one back and you're like, oh, man.
Did you rewind it?
Oh, don't crack me up, please. You know when you forget and they try to charge you the £2 or whatever it was, or £1 or whatever it was. It's madness. Oh, dear. Well, people are creeping in.
Yes.
Say good evening to Karen James. How are you? Hello.
Good evenings.
Who else is in the chat? If you're there watching and you have a Google account, a YouTube account, come into the chat, say hello. Did I see Melissa Deans here?
Melissa Deans.
Yes, Melissa Deans is in. Nice to have you here.
Yes.
Good. I think a lot of people just putting the little ones to sleep and they will kick in. Come and say hello. As we do each and every Monday, 9 o'clock live right here. The Real SoundCheck podcast. Mm-hmm. So apart from the cinema, everything else was all right for the week.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, pretty decent. I got to see Kung Fu Panda as well.
Yeah,
that was nice.
It was all right, innit?
Yeah, it was a nice outing. Kind of had a little bit of a interesting, because you can always draw parallels from certain films, to life and stuff.
Yeah,
or where they're trying to take people. Because not to get into too much conspiracy, but the other day, a certain lady mentioned that the Pentagon has a budget for films.
Yes.
So that's interesting. Films obviously have a way of communicating to us on a subliminal level. Of course. Yeah. And
well, it depends how conspiracy theory you want to go. Are you talking the old reel films where they used to put popcorn and stuff in between the reels and they speed it up so fast and you don't realize why you're getting up in the middle of the film is because you've seen popcorn 8 times flashing so fast before you even like get into the main fight scene, or they know where they're going to do it. So then you'll run out, go and get popcorn or extra drink and then come back and think, why have I gone and got this? You know what I mean? And you sit there munching. But yeah, it used to be like that. Good evening, Simon Chandler.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I mean, that was,
but obviously
quote unquote banned.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. I'm doing air quotes for those listening back. But I'm sure there's other things. I mean,
oh yeah, with the technology now, it must be all different sonically, and you know what I mean. The visually, the light. You know, brown notes and dark notes and this, that, and so forth. Everything must be at play. But hey, let's not get ourselves banned.
It's for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's good. At least you had a good wrapped up week. Still trying to get this decorating done. Me and my uncle at wars. You know when you wait for family and
them kind of.
But you know, I've got to do some prepping still though. I've still got to do some prepping. Then my car got scratched.
Oh man!
I had to go sort of I had to sort that out. Nuts. So money down the drain there because I can't drive around in a scratch car. Can't do it. So I had to get that fixed straight away. Then I treated myself and the car to a new set of shoes. So I've got some new shoes on the car as well. So
Car stepped out like, hey, bam. Check
then
me
I
out.
met up with my brother and a couple of friends of ours. One of his mates had a birthday, and we all went out. Yeah, and that was on a Saturday. That was good. It was good.
When
good,
you went
good,
out
good.
to somewhere in particular, or just kind
Oh
of like,
yes, we went to a mansion up in Chelmsford, Essex.
I see.
Yeah, the entrepreneur, property guy, Antoine Bellet. I don't know if you know. Yeah, I went to his mansion. A well-known house DJ had a marquee in his grounds of his mansion, and they had a party. It was good.
Nice.
It was very, very nice.
And did you say next time, just call me and I'll come and throw down?
Yeah,
some
you know what? It
fantastic
might even
dub
be.
plates.
It might even be near Muka near where you are out. So. But yeah, it was nice. A little convoy. When you and the man them jump on a convoy and get up to where you're going, and yeah, it was good. It was good because it was only selected people. People couldn't just turn up and pass through. You'll have to. You know what I mean? You have to be driving, and people made the effort.
Appropriate credentials.
Yes. And may I say, the ladies looked slender and fine.
Yeah.
They looked well dressed and highly blessed.
This always enhances the experience.
It enhanced. Make me stutter. It enhanced a lot. I tell you. It was good. If you're just joining us, Mad Trini, good evening. Pop into the chat and say hello. We are just warming up tonight. Tonight we got a special guest. There's nothing to hide. His name is Mr.XL from the Big Business family. He'll be joining us. Big business. I can't even get that high, but he's in the business. He's in the building. And we're going to be talking all things events, a bit of DJing, and some advice he's got for people out there who want to either be a promoter or anything like that. You take some notes, get a pen and pad or your notebook ready on your phone. There's going to be a few gems being dropped there, and just a good catch up if you don't know nothing about him. So we're definitely gonna.
He said something very interesting before the beginning of the show. Very interesting, but you'll circle back to it, I'm sure.
Oh! You were listening. You heard what we were talking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's
Okay.
He's a scholar and a gentleman. That's why he's definitely worthy of our podcast and us speaking to him and having a bit of his time. Really chuffed. Really chuffed. So please spread the word. Let everybody know, family, friends, ravers, people who have been to his events and never really maybe had a chance to only just to say hello, to find out what Mr.XL is about, just a portion of his mind frame and what he's got to say about events and so forth. Don't forget, if you want to get closer to DJs, download this app, Good Muse app. Yeah, the founder's right there. Click. I'm getting used to it now. The founder's right there. It's an app that allows you, by music, to connect to DJs and their events all in one. So get it on your phone. You might not use it now, but you're gonna glad you have it on your phone later. Trust me. Yeah, Good Muse app.
Thank you. And especially DJs who play certain songs, and you want more people to hear those certain songs.
Yeah,
this is the way you could track those people, because you put what songs you play.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, this DJ plays that. This DJ plays that. Let me follow that DJ. And next time he's putting out something, I'll know.
There we go. It works vice versa, where you connect to them and they connect to you and more. Download the app, Good Muse app, one of our official partners in the podcast game. And we definitely support them all the way through. I think that's enough waffle. I think we've waffled enough. I think, we're just warming up. I think, as I said, people normally pop in. So I think we should hit some sexy graphics and bring in our special guest. What are you saying?
Yeah.
That
sounds good. And Big Business is in the building. In the chat.
In the building. he's here. He's here. Here he is.
Hey, you know I like a fancy graphic. I like that. I like that. Do that again, please. Do that again. Do that again. Do that again. Do that again.
I can show you another one. I can show you.
I'm Junior Giscombe, and you're watching The Real.
Second and a little spin and yeah.
Technology is something else. Evening.
Good evening. Dave will be back with us. Just had a technical dropout, but he'll be back with us. My special guest, our special guest this evening is Mr.XL from the Big Business family. What's going on, my brother?
Do you know what's happening? Because I was listening earlier, and you guys were like, "It's live, no edits." I was like, I was ready to run away. I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Oh, stop it. No, you can't.
You know, in this era, everything is polished. Everything goes out prim and proper. You know, we take time.
And I hate that. I hate it.
So
I get it.
Yeah.
Is it daunting?
Melissa.
Is it daunting?
I mean, we're here. Let's see how it goes. Hello, Melissa.
Oh right, yeah, you're seeing a lot. You're gonna see a few Twitch names popping up and Twitch family, and that's another subject we're gonna talk about later on as well. You know what I mean? But let me bring down the music in the background. Hope it's not annoying, and it should be just there. So yeah, it's after 9 o'clock. Our special guest is in the building, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna have some fun and catch on some memories, hopefully. But the first thing I suppose I want to know is, how did it work? Did music find you, or did you find music? Like, from a DJ perspective, how did it work for you?
My intro to music was probably more technical than anything else. Just the tech of it all. So my original thing was computers and tech and that sort of thing. Yeah, when going back a long time ago, when I was younger and I used to get Christmas presents,
don't make me cry. Don't make my eyes water.
Nothing would last past into Boxing Day without me. I have to open it. I need to know what's going on inside.
Were you one of those?
Yeah.
So if the car had electric, you would open it up.
I need to open it. Yeah. So that was my original sort of intro into everything, and then get older, started sort of going the music and that sort of thing, and then got into DJing around the same sort of time. This is secondary school days.
I was gonna say, so was that mid-teens? You? Yeah.
Secondary school days.
And I have to ask, what was it like collecting and using vinyl?
It was fun. It was fun. I think one of my first records I bought, I believe, was Roxanne Shante. I believe.
Oh wow.
I can't remember the name of the track, but
yeah.
I remember buying that in. Not Honest John's. Honest John's, I think it was Portobello Road.
Portobello Road, Honest John's.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that was the original intro into sort of music. But before that, DJing wise and that sort of thing, I was actually DJing before that. I was using, Dad had records, he had the system there.
Yeah.
That system had, I don't want to go into it too much, but that system had it had, when it had the separate units, and it had the record player on top. The record player had 45 and 33, but it also had a pitch control, a rotary pitch control.
Oh, is it?
This one had a pitch control.
Stop it.
The cassette player also had a pitch control.
What are you telling me, bruv?
The cassette player had a pitch control. So what I had done, and this is the electronics in me, I somehow, the amps had left and right.
Yes.
I somehow had the record player coming through one side and the tape coming through the other side somehow, and then I was using the left right to mix between them.
No way.
It was madness. Somehow I'd done some. That was my first mixer. It was an amp, and it was just between.
Stop it,
I was
between
mixing
tape and
records
vinyl.
tape. Yeah, that's how I started off mixing. Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah, that's a the DJ story.
So let me good evening to UK Web Boy. They're good. It's called a hi-fi. Yes, they were. I have to then ask, since DJing came in your teens, what was the first type of gig? Was it house party? Was it birthday party? Was it wedding?
Yeah,
christening?
originally house parties, the family house parties, and
Yes.
and the christenings and all that sort of thing. And yeah, that was the early sort of getting used to the whole thing. But remember, I wasn't mixing on decks. I was records, dad's records, and mum's cassettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow! But then, let's say later on into your teens, when you're allowed to go out and venture out, did you become a raver? Was there a raver in you? Did you go and
Not
socialize?
really. So some people sort of have not really like that. I was very much bedroom DJ and the equipment and
technology.
About the technology. I had the I think it was we were making music on the Commodore. I think it was
64.
Was it the Commodore? No. There was one that everyone used with Cubase.
The Cubase.
Was it the Commodore or the Atari?
Atari.
I think it might be the Atari. Everyone was using it with Cubase.
Yes, with Cubase on. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing that, and cousins were rapping, brother was rapping. But I was the tech man.
Big shout to Broski.
Yeah. So that was the original intro. And then I'm trying to remember. My memory is really bad, so you're gonna have to.
That's all right. We'll draw it out of you wherever we can.
We'll get there. So those were the early days. And then DJing wise, I started going to a youth center. Got equipment, and then I met with Dwayne and Johnny, Rough and Smooth.
Oh my God! Oh my life! Don't talk. You're joking. Sorry, you just draw back some names.
Right. So this is early 90s.
But
prior to that, myself and so next door to me was the gran of Dukes. She lived next door to me when I was growing up. So me and Dukes grew up together.
Oh wow! Is that how it plays out?
Yeah. We grew up together. That was it. Atari ST. Yes, you're old. We grew up together. Long story short, so myself and Dukes then joined with Johnny and Dwayne, Rough and Smooth, and then we created Imminent Sound System. So this is all happening at the same sort of time.
That's right.
So I mean, this is like now we're making music. Now we're DJing, going youth center, DJing, picking up the mic, etc., and that sort of thing. And then we started in house parties with Johnny and Dwayne. First one we done, and this was probably my intro into doing events, was when they organized. There was a guy called James Jarman,
right,
who lived in northwest London. What is the road? What's the Bait Road in northwest London?
Oh God,
you're gonna name it, and it's Kensal Green. Go over the
Wrottesley.
Not Portnall.
No, what are you on about? On the left, over the hill, over Kensal Rise, going towards Wilson Junction.
Yeah, go past
Wilsden Sports Centre.
Sorry, yeah, go past that.
Okay.
Go
Wilsden
and then you
High
come
Road.
Up where the Nando's is now. Go over the little bridge.
Yeah.
And turn right. What's that road?
Coming which way? Kensal Rise, Kensal. Oh yeah, you've lost me. I'll have to zoom in.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, he had a house party. Okay, he was wanting to do a house party, and Dwayne and Johnny, they organized the equipment for it.
Yeah,
and then they brought myself along to it.
Okay,
to DJ, and so that was my first official house party. That was somewhere in the 90s, but where I had to help them bring in the speakers.
Yeah, you done the box boy thing. It had to be done.
80s, you know what I mean? And then I bought my tech side of it. So I was like, to pick up the crowd, I was hanging a mic from the ceiling We had a lead going up to the ceiling to pick up the crowd.
Oh,
to record.
stop it.
Yeah, so I was doing all of that sort of thing. So that was me early organizing events, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, Imminent Sound System, and then we've done a load more events in some of the local, like Paddington Arts.
Yes.
Done an event there. We've done events in Harrow Club, so a load of local sort of events, and then a lot of christenings, a lot of the usual bits and pieces. But those were the early events that I was doing.
Now, you mentioned youth club, and you were... Now, this is where I think I met you at the youth club. Was it the one down underneath the bridge, turn left?
Lancaster.
Labatt Grove, Lancaster.
Yeah.
That's where I met you.
Yeah.
Rico
yeah.
brought us down there because he was working with my sound, Diamond Rush.
Yeah.
And I think your sound and our sound did that Daybreak. Can you remember that?
Which one?
Overnighter. We did some overnighter, and we brought speakers and everything, and they took us to a hall, some mad hall on some country estate, and it was you lot and us lot, and we were the only DJs there, and we played.
See my memory.
This is what I'm saying.
My memory.
No,
a lot has happened.
Because I was like, who we playing with? And he goes, yeah, my guy, XL, Charles XL. He does the engineering, because you were the engineering in the thing from a young age. You were doing the engineering. Yeah.
16, 17, 16.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's when my sound was running, you know what I mean? But we were more Northwest, Harlesden, Stonebridge. We were part of that under 18 circuit, the all dayers at Bridge Park, all dayers in Harrow. We were part of that clique that way.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because that under 18 circuit, I don't know about for you lot, but that teenage under 18s, early 20s circuit was very territorial. Very territorial. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was very really.
I wasn't really venturing out to Northwest. I think the most I ventured out when I was younger, in terms of those, like the Tudoros all dayers.
Oh yes, yeah.
That was early.
That was like neutral zone. That one, everyone turned up. To,
But I was in secondary school them days.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, those were the early event organizing days. But I wasn't intentionally organizing events, if that makes sense. It was just a part of. Right, we're in a sound now. We're in Imminent. Okay, let's do events, and there was no plan.
Exactly,
we were just rolling, just do kind of thing.
Okay, and then if you don't mind me asking, how long did that go on? You know, as Imminence, was it a good few years? Did it take you into early manhood? Was it late teens, 18, 20?
Imminence probably. What happened with Imminence? I think after. It went a good few years. I mean, we were doing other events. So we done talent show, Broken Silence. We were very heavily involved in talent show Broken Silence, which was at Commonwealth Institute, and then it was for sickle cell, in aid of sickle cell.
Yes, I think I remember Broken Silence for some reason.
Yeah, there were. It was quite at the time. It was quite a big thing. I mean, those days there was no social media. So everything was, and we rammed out. I think we rammed out Commonwealth Institute. When I say rammed out, I think it seated maybe 200 people, 150, 200 people.
Oh wow!
But we were young. I mean, we were like 17, sort of just putting on events then. And getting funding and all that sort of thing.
Playing the proper game and how it's been played. Yeah.
And then we were interviewed. You got artists coming from all over, coming down to Lancaster Youth Centre. And we're judging them there, and then putting them into the main show, choosing the 20 for the main show.
I swear I remember that
whole thing. Yeah, no, it was around the same time, just after or around the same time as. No, it was just after Rapology, Choice FM's Rapology.
Right.
Yeah, so it was in the same sort of talent shows were a big thing, especially for dance groups.
Yes. Yes. Now you said that, it reminds me. It was always about the dance crew. Yeah. Because around that time, if you're saying 17 to 18, because you're roughly the same age as me, I was in Zeniths, and that's where I met. That's where I met Rough and Smooth.
Okay. Yes, they were there residents.
Yeah. Because we brought them in because they played Garage at the time. I think
House
it was.
Garage, yes.
Yeah, House of Garage. Yeah. So we brought them in, and I remember. That's why I asked when was the link up and how long did it last? Because I remember meeting them there,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
then
were, yeah. I can't remember the exact year. I think once we ended sort of Imminence around when I went to city events, which would have been, I went off to uni. And when I went off to uni, that's where we kind of, it's hard to
Disbanded.
kind of, a little bit. It's hard to kind of keep that up. But then I'm still DJing in uni, and then I'm doing events in uni. That was Colchester, Essex.
Right.
And then I was doing events out there as well with a couple of the organisers like the R&B Society and all that.
Yes,
sort of thing.
yes.
So that was that period, and then that was interesting because you meet different people. You see, when you're organising events, again, there's no social media these times, so you're organising events.
I was just about to say
there's no social media. So what
talk the things, bro.
It's for local people, if that makes sense, or people you can easily reach. Do you see what I mean? So it's pretty much, if you're doing an event in West London, it's gonna be West London, generally speaking.
Yep.
That are gonna be there, kind of thing.
Yep.
And so when I went to uni, I've got a whole new set of people that I've never met before. Different. You got international students coming. It's different. You're meeting different people. You're learning about different things, different ways of playing, and all that sort of thing, and different ways of organising as well. So yeah, that was a whole period. Obviously, about 3 years I was out there. And then when I came back, I was pretty much a solo kind of DJ, if that makes sense. So I'm still linking with people, and I still know dudes who still speak and still speak to them. But that was that. And then I had maybe a break from organising events, I guess. Okay. When I came back from uni, I'm not sure why, but I think the city's opened up. Social media started.
But you're DJing though.
I'm still DJing.
You're still DJing.
Yeah, I'm still doing. Remember, I'm doing West London, West Central now. So I'm doing your wax. I'm doing your trap. Weekend trap. Yeah, wax and all those the venues up there. Not Samantha's.
Which one?
There was another one down the back of Regent Street.
Strawberry Rooms?
No, near there. It was there were loads of little clubs in that area.
There was tiny little
loads of them. Yeah.
Oh, why did it just flash in my head? I think
it was probably the road after Hanover. There's a random little road, and there was a club there. In
between Samantha's and Hanover.
Yeah.
Round the back, and it was a random little thing near the police station.
Random little clubs. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
And I used to do
Darryl Curly's 10 rooms.
That's on the other side.
That was the other side. Right.
That was the other side of Regent Street.
Right. Shouts out Dukes.
Was he there?
Yeah. He's there.
Oh yeah.
So this was what was her name? Danielle.
Danielle Shaw. Danielle.
She was organising events.
Yes, with Kevin. Is it Kevin?
Everywhere. Yeah. It's like I didn't at that time need to organise events because I was just DJing all the time, sort of thing.
So you're talking 02 to 04.
Because I think Gas maybe had. I don't think Gas was running by then. I think Gas had finished.
When it took a break, because that's when I flew out. That's when I left the country. I left the country to live in Greece 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And that's when it all changed. Guest list, party.
Yes.
You have to have a guest list, rare. And Daniel, I remember all of that was part. That's when Chucky and Dan and all of them lot were doing their parties and everything. And that's where everything started to change in the city.
The whole thing changed.
The whole thing changed around that time.
But there was even a club. So Leicester Square.
Salute Duke. Sorry, apologies. Love, brother. Sorry. Yeah.
The Leicester Square, opposite the Burger King.
Yes.
There was a club right there. Can you remember what that was called?
Buzz. No, opposite the Burger King. Sorry, Shush Rooms.
Shush Rooms.
No.
Was it Shush Rooms?
Shush.
I think it was Shush Rooms. Yeah.
Shush.
There quite a bit. There were a load of clubs around.
Yeah.
That I was doing. So that was a nice era. But I think subconsciously I was learning about just events happening and being done, but I wasn't actually doing them at that time. If that makes sense. And then, long story short, West Central has then changed into East Central.
Yeah, it did.
Where I started DJing over there now, kind of thing. And that was, I'm trying to make sure I haven't forgotten anything major. But my first East Central playout, I think, was through Sean City. Sean City.
I heard the story.
Yeah, and
I heard the story.
Leon, my guy Leon, who I used to go secondary school with.
Okay.
Him and Sean City
Yeah.
started doing events. They done an event called Installments. Yeah. First one that I DJ'd that because they were doing it for a while, and then
yes,
I think Leon knew I was a DJ.
Yes.
I don't think Sean knew me at the time.
Right.
Remember, at the time I'm solo. This isn't big business. This is Mr.XL.
So that means sorry to cut you. I'm just trying to get it right. So that is just about the time when I asked you to come and do the sports thing in Brixton. The Midnight Madness.
Yes,
the Midnight Madness.
Yes,
it's around that. That's 05, 05, 06. Yeah. Because I remembered someone was saying, who need DJs? And I was like, nah, I know a guy.
Yeah.
And he can fling down. And then we asked you to come down to because you remember that was in the evening overnight.
Yes.
Yeah, DJing. And it was mad. So then, that's where, see, I didn't know. So that means Big Business wasn't formed then, 06. You're joking.
No. So, Installments, that was in Departure Lounge.
Yes, it was.
Q's Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
There.
But,
shout out Q. Yeah.
But jump back a bit. In the city, I was doing, you see this sort of the set where with the 90s and the 80s and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Like, I was doing that in, like, Trap and all those clubs that, like, early, do you see what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
gotcha.
A couple of years before that. So when I come in there, and I remember dropping Candy first time, and that hadn't been, it hadn't landed at all. Do you see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Dropping that,
yeah,
and it was crazy kind of thing. And then from there, I was always on their bill.
Yeah.
And then a couple of times into Installments. This might have been the third or fourth installment. It might have been the third installment.
Yeah.
By then, myself and Kappa had linked up.
So
this is like maybe 2 or 3. I can't remember exactly how many, because I remember saying to Sean, yeah, I'm coming, but I've got a host coming with me now. And Sean's like, and so one of our first playouts would have been in installments in
Worship. No, not Worship.
No. You went downstairs. It was on.
Say the Road.
Oh gosh.
Say the Road.
Silks and Spice.
Oh yes.
Silks and Spice.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh wow, that place.
The missus in there with the Diamond Big Business t-shirts. Yeah. We went all out. So that was that. But at this time, I'm still not actually. I don't think I'm organizing events at that point.
But you're building up the brand. Like, have you branded Big Business as a DJ crew?
Yeah.
It's you. It's so, as you said, it's now you and Kappa. Mm-hmm. You just started the combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what made you draw for him? Because I know he was.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Someone put you two together?
Right. So, the story is wild. So, not wild, but
it's only if you want to share. No.
It's not even a wild story. I'm saying there's so many. You know, like if you're watching EastEnders and there's so many things happening at the same time. That's what my life is like. No, there's so many. So I have to jump back a bit.
No, that's fine.
Let's jump back to when I was producing in Lancaster, when you were coming down.
Yes.
Carlton we formed like a production company.
Yes.
Sort of thing. So we were doing like having artists in and all that sort of thing. We were up in Sony's offices. We were doing like selling beats to Sony. Taking on producers, all that sort of thing. Yep. So I was working closely with Carlton in Lancaster.
Right.
And then obviously I'm DJing at the same time. And then one day Carlton's like, do you know what? Because I knew Kappa from before, just from the area. And then Carlton's like, you could do it a host. You need a host. Like he's in the sound thing kind of thing. He's seeing Galflex. Yeah. And all that kind of thing. He said, you need a host.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And he's like, he thinks Kappa would be great as a host.
Yeah, because he was singing back then, wasn't he?
Kappa was singing. Kappa was running into soca raves over in West London.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Energy he was doing that from before. Just energy.
Yeah.
And he jump on the mic and he's just giving loads of energy. So I think Carlton just said, like, this guy's energy, if we you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was Carter, and I didn't know anything about anything. So he brought him down to Lancaster,
Yeah.
and then that was that. I remember us in there thinking, what name should we come up with? What name should we come up with? And then he come up with Big Business. We were like, yeah, Big Business, okay. Yeah.
What?
Just like that.
Just like that.
A name. What?
We went. I couldn't tell you which other names we went through, but that one came up and was like, we mean business, Big Business. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was that.
That's a shot. Yeah.
So now run forward. So the city's happening. The city scene is bustling, and
by that time, yeah, 07.
it's crazy because the switch. Remember, I'm used to trap.
Okay.
80-90% white. These are Central London. I'm playing a lot of Sean Paul's and the bait R&B. I'm keeping it like this is how we do it. It's very.
I get you. Yeah.
Prior to that, I've come from uni, and then I was in Dixon, West London. So in the sound system, I've come from like we're playing at house parties now, so we can play what we want. So I've gone across the whole kind of spectrum.
The box is deep now.
And then going to city.
Yeah.
Whoa! All of a sudden, whoa! There's black people everywhere. Okay.
My people.
Remember, there were certain clubs. Obviously, you had Hanover, which was that. But when you talk about the Central London, a lot of the Central London clubs, like it was mainly white people that were in there. And
yeah.
I mean,
I would say that has fizzled out. But yeah, back then, I think right up until the depths of 2009-10, it was like that. It was definitely like that. Yeah. So that's so the city sparked off about 07-08 for you when you got linked up around that time.
Yeah, exactly that. So remember, Dukes hasn't. So remember, I'm in the sound with Dukes from before, but then Imminent is kind of gone off and done this sort of thing. So we're all doing our own solo thing. Dukes is still doing his thing.
Yes,
I think by then, Johnny and Dwayne, Dukes, correct me, they've kind of settled down. They're not doing as much. They're doing a few things here and there.
I remember.
Like in Kilburn, they were doing some events in Kilburn.
Yes, on the high road thingy lounge, the different places. Yeah.
And then where am I in the story? So we've done a couple of events in the city, and now you got to look at it like I'm in the city now, and it's all our people here. So now I've actually got the opportunity to organize events, because you got to remember, when I'm in West Central, and it's all whatever diverse and I don't have those people in West London to bring to these, so I don't see it as I can organize an event here.
Okay,
does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm like, you got to remember, there was a point where we couldn't go into clubs and organize like, I want to do a night here.
Facts. This
is why, so to say, we'd have to send a woman in there of a different persuasion, culture, to go in there and talk, and then do the deal, and then we turn up.
Yes,
this is what was happening.
Yeah.
We could have gone and, you see what I mean, and it's weird how things have changed so much, because now I'll go to meetings, no issues. I went to a meeting just the other day, and we'll come to the kind of present in Hilton Hotel. Yeah, and this older woman there, and I'm just in front of her, just talking to her, just normally. This is what we're coming to do, and and back in the day, that was
never happened, bruv.
Couldn't do it.
Never happened.
Couldn't do it at all. So early city days, Silks and Spice. Where was Sean City's doing Image now?
Oh my God! Yes.
He's doing it in Corney and Barrow.
Yes.
A lot of events are happening. The city's buzzing.
Yeah.
Now we've got a couple of thousand people coming to the city, kind of thing. Linked up with two guys, Mikey and Abzi. And they could get hold of events, basically. And we had a band link it together.
Yes.
And so a load of bands were born around that time. Now I just need to think to myself when Iron Bar happened. No, it was after. That's fine. So we started doing bands like Appreciation. Timeless, I think, was one of the first ones.
Okay.
Timeless was in. There were loads of clubs in Central.
Yeah. I think I remember the brand Timeless.
Was it Alchemist? No. Alchemist was later.
What are you talking about?
What's the Forge? Forge.
Yeah.
What was it called before? I think we've done Timeless in there.
Damn. I'm trying to think where Forge is now. Then I'll be able to remember.
Dukes. Where's Forge again? Good Ship.
The Good Ship. Oh, okay.
Good Ship was one of them. Yeah. So we were doing events. So now we're actually doing events now. So I've linked up with these guys, but it's a collaboration kind of thing.
Jaeger Bar.
So I mean, yes, Jaeger Bar, Mustard, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah,
They were getting hold of the events. Absi was MC as well.
Right.
And then we were booking. Now we're booking sort of like Invasion, Celebrity Super, New Winter Roadshow. We're doing all these raves, Appreciation, Timeless. There were a couple of other bands that we had. Top of my head, I can't remember. Still happening, and they were doing very well. I mean, we were doing like maybe 700 in what's the place called? They've got two of them in the city, two clubs in the city. One's America Square, Revolution. The big one.
Oh, Revolution. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We were doing the Revolution up and down.
So for people's reference, you're in the heart of City of London, not even West End. You're in the City of London.
It was bus every single weekend.
Yeah.
There's like 6, 7, 8 raves going on around those times.
So you're building a brand, you're co-promoting, you're working with people, you're DJing, and you're also creating a database of people all in within this time.
So now this is the most, probably one of the most important parts of everything. Kappa started taking pictures.
Okay.
So he started off with one dodgy piece of camera, one of them little silver. It was a dodgy little something. Like it was, I don't even know why it happened or whatever, but it was the rave that we're in, and this is when we're DJing as well. So we're organizing events, but we're still DJing in like total package, and those waves and that kind of thing. You see what I mean? West London, we're still doing West London.
Right.
And then we're doing. I'm doing. Actually, sorry. Again, EastEnders. There's loads of thingies.
Yeah.
I was also doing events in, not Tudor Rose. Yeah, Tudor Rose.
Yeah. Whispers. Oh, okay. Right. Go on.
Tudor Rose with Alpo, and there's another little pub bar sort of around the corner where I was doing a phone party, soca phone parties.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, that was just before. Kappa then, around or just before Kappa. So we're doing those events as well with Alpo. Alpo, my guy, I've known him for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And we're doing, I think we've done an event called Midnight Madness or something like that there. That was Ram. Tudor Rose Ram.
Yeah.
The story's crazy. And then come forward again.
It's like Pulp Fiction with the time.
There's so much. There's so much to it. Where was I?
Back and forth. Moving. You said now you've moved. No, you said you were working with.
Mike and Absi. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
And then what's happened? I've started doing older events. We're doing like 23 pluses, if that makes sense. When I say older, at that time, it was older. It was 23 plus. Like, what? It wasn't a thing. Do you see what I mean? And then do you see what I mean? And so at some point, I met Mr. White. Now, Charlene, the missus, she reminded me of the story the other day. I can't remember exactly how that one went. And I also can't remember, and Dukes will remind me, I can't remember exactly when Dukes then joined Big Business. But I know we were doing events like Thorpe Park, trips to Thorpe Park.
Okay.
We were filming a TV, BBTV, we called it. We were filming a web TV show live, like this right now. We were doing this back then.
Yeah.
It's like mid-noughties. And Dukes, correct me if I'm wrong, you were there then. Because that was around...
Meet at Mingles. Did you meet at Mingles?
Meet and Mingle, yeah. We started doing a Meet and Mingle event. So we parted with... At some point, we parted with Absi and Mikey. And then started doing Meet and Mingle, which was
Wait a minute. Can I
Okay.
just dig in? Wait a minute. I remember Sean City and them lot did their New Year's Eve event, and Mr. White used to play at the New Year's Eve because we played as Smooth Connection. And I'm wondering if you and Kappa were on the same New Year's Eve, because that's where we met him. We were like, who is this guy come to shell down the place? And it was Mr. White at New Year's Eve, and it was a Sean City, Promotion City, all of that. You know what I mean?
I hadn't met White then, I don't think.
Nah, around
No.
07,
It would have
08.
been. It would be around that time.
Yeah.
Around that time, because our first New Year's Eve was 2009, if my memory serves correctly. And
What, the
so-
first Getaway?
First Getaway New Year's Eve, and we were doing events about a year, 2 years before that. So it would have been
So about
around
07.
then. Yeah. So parted ways with Mike and Absy, and then started doing Meet and Mingle events, and the whole sort of thing behind those events was right. So this is where I can now explain why I do events.
Okay, right.
Right.
Wait,
Now
hold on. Take a breather. I tell you what, I'm gonna give you a nice graphic. If you've just joined us, this is the Real SoundCheck podcast. We are blessed to have Mr.XL from the big business family. We've just had the history of Mr.XL himself, but now we are moving into the amalgamation of the big business family and what it takes to put on events in a very saturated market and to grow and stay consistent for over nearly a decade plus. So, yeah, welcome. Settle in. The story's getting juicy now.
Thank you for having me here. It's helping me to jog my own memory, if that makes sense.
No, that's good. And
Because
this is here for you.
I think something that maybe people may not even realize is that before all of this, before we got to this point, a lot of the stuff was on vinyl.
Yeah.
So you were pulling things around the city and getting all these gigs on vinyl.
Yeah, that's wild.
To be
08 is CDs now.
Yeah, to go over
07, 08
the
CD.
if I fill in the timeline of when I was doing the event. So when I was in uni, I was still on vinyl. And then by the time I done installments with Sean, I was on CDs.
Yeah. 04.
And then at some point, and then we had the big CD, the double open CD thing. Started off with a small one, realized that's not enough. Now you got the big 250 CDs.
Yeah.
And you got a two CDs copied, the same tracks on each, so I could play between the tracks and that kind of thing.
Because I remember when you lot came down to I Reminisce, Old Street.
Yes.
Old Street, my throwback party.
Yes.
Downstairs we had the thing. Me and Leone.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that, and then that was it. It was like, because that's when I knew like a big business was there. Like, because that was 06. Yeah, it was around about 05, 06 when we started. Because that's when I started TVT. You know what I mean? I had the van. And then I brought you Midnight Madness, and then Rare. So it's like 05/06, and then we did Kakalele. Not Kakalele. I mean, we did the Soca event. Sorry, in Camden, and I think Capo helped out Leone because it's gonna hit me. The name's gonna hit me in a minute. But I remember she did the Soca thing, and then he was Jukes was a part of that. Jukes was a part of that as well on the bill.
It's weird because. But it's EastEnders, seriously. Like there's different layers of story all happening at the same time. So the same time that I'm doing the events with Absy and Mikey and installments in the city, and then we're doing events back home in West. Started doing like Black Club and that sort of
I remember that stint.
Right. We were doing Black Club. We were doing the one opposite Trellick Tower, 10 rooms.
It was the other 10 rooms.
Not 10 rooms, sorry.
Number 10.
Number 10, opposite Trellick Tower. And that was, we done it with Universal Sound. So they took a floor, we took a floor, because you went in, there were 3 floors there or something.
Yes, there was.
They took a floor, we took a floor.
I remember that venue, man.
But it was weird, 'cause it was so small when I think about it now.
Yeah.
The vibe in there, it was
What?
every Friday. I think Jerry Bascom was running it for us. So Jerry Bascom
I thought he had a Friday as well at Blag.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
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 As well.
Yeah. Because we
both
were
of
on.
them.
Yeah. We were over
Jerry,
there as.
I love
Happy
Jerry,
days.
you know. Jerry, I love you, you know. Jerry would go to Blag and pick up his money and then come to 10 and pick up the rest of his money.
That's the
I love you,
hustle.
Jerry.
That's the hustle.
We were getting pimped out. So those were good days as well. So that's running alongside your installments, your timeless. That's all running alongside. So we're still doing things in West London as well as the cities kind of thing. I remember one key weekend we done we might have done 3 events. We done Blag on the Friday night.
Yes.
And then the Saturday night we done, I think it was Mustard Bar. Both ram. And remember, Mustard Bar is like 400 or 500 people or something like that. And Blag is like another 200. And that was like the peak of that whole city and us doing events and really securing the name. Right. Back to Kappa. Kappa's picked up the camera.
Oh, yes.
And he's going around in the events now. And he's just taking pictures. Facebook has come about.
0708, yeah, 8,
right?
yeah.
Sign up to Facebook. What can we do with Facebook? Oh my gosh, okay, we got a page. We set up a page. And then we started doing photo albums of each rave we were at. Not just the raves we were putting on.
Oh, stop
But
it.
the raves we were DJing at.
Yeah.
Right, cool. So, check this. This is the first time that photos of events are going online and you can go up and tag them. Yeah? So, what we were doing,
go on.
We'd go into a dance, DJ, Kappa's taking all the photos. That night, we're putting all the photos up, and then we're telling people, look, go to the page, and then tag your people. So the next day, people are tagging their people in the page, and then what we realized, let's lock the page, because back then you could lock the Facebook page so that you could only tag it if you followed the page.
If you're a member.
If you're a member of the page.
Oh.
Now, that being said, do you know what? When I think about it, the idea for photos might have come through promotioncity.co.uk.
Yes. Big up them, man. They're early before their
Neil,
time. Way before
Sean,
their time.
they were doing the photos. They were putting up on the website. It must have come from there, to be fair. So, yeah, he was taking pictures. We're putting them up. We've locked the page. We said you can only tag people and view the pictures if you follow the page. Now people are just following the page. Every rave we're going to, we're taking pictures. We're putting them up. And then people are following the page. And that page is just growing fast. And it was one of the few pages that was growing, but growing because everyone wanted to see themselves. Where are you going to see?
Yeah.
Only gallery was Promotion City, and look how well that done. People were getting on there to see.
What?
You see what I mean?
It was the only place.
It was the only place.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? I say a lot of do you see what I mean? So I'm going to stop doing that. So I just become conscious of it.
Good evening, E+. It's all right.
E+. Oh my gosh.
Foundation.
You see, now there's another story in the
timeline.
The E+ is a major part of my timeline. It's so that's part of the radio timeline.
Yes.
To be fair.
Yes.
And also part of the vaguely part of the events timeline as well. So when I was organizing events, when I was on Street FM, we done a show together. Myself and E+ done a show together. He bought Street FM. That was my first. No, that wasn't my first radio show, to be fair. I think it might have been my. I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. It's all right. It's all right. There's a lot. Because you put in some serious work, brother.
Yeah, no, a lot has happened. A lot of happened.
Yeah.
Went on to Unique, and anyway, that's a radio story. E+, great guy, and part of the journey, sort of thing. So the page is growing. With the page growing, when we're doing events, we're now putting up like 200 photos of a rave that we've DJ'd at.
What?
And then we're throwing the flyer. So we're out the night before. Say Friday night we're out. He's taken 200, 300 photos. They've all gone up onto the page, onto the Facebook page. And then we're throwing flyers of our events into the gallery. So now people So now people are coming to tag their, and then as they're going through, there's a flyer for our dance. So that in itself, we don't even have to fly anymore because it's all just happening, if that makes sense.
Organic.
So around that time now we're with linked up. We're doing meet and mingle events. I was doing a lot of events with Middle Ground, done some with Middle Ground, with I think we've done with Leone.
Yes, with Leone.
We were doing Iron Bar.
Yes.
Done that a couple of times, Iron Bar.
Yeah.
That didn't go very well, if I'm honest. Iron Bar it didn't do well. Iron Bar,
because it was after Darkman's version of Iron Bar, wasn't it?
He had a lot of South London coming there into Iron Bar. He had everyone coming in.
Yeah.
When we were doing it, what we were trying to do was perhaps a little bit before its time. Mm-hmm. We were trying to do come down, relax, play games, and people didn't really want to. They didn't really want to do all that. You know, now it's just like, we could play games.
Not after what them lot were doing, no.
We want to rave, and we were like, we got Connect 4. We had all these games out, kind of thing, and it wasn't the best one we had. Was when Iron Bar announced it was closing, and then we put out a thing say, it's closing. All of a sudden, it's Ram. I was like, where have you been?
Ram to the rafters. I was
People
there.
couldn't get in. It was crazy.
I was there.
I was like, where have you lot been for this time? We were there. I remember the poor woman that used to work there. I've forgotten her name. The manager there. And she was so cool because every week coming in trying to do it, hasn't hit the bar. But it's like she could almost see the potential. It's like, it's fine, and that kind of. So she was allowing us, but again, just developing event organizing experience. Mm-hmm. Right, so that's all happening. What I said earlier about why I do the events and how it all kind of comes into itself.
And that's Go on.
Yeah, this is the key now. So what we were trying to do with Iron Bar was perhaps a bit beyond its time. Mm-hmm. I remember when I went to there's a business on Portobello Road. There was a business center sort of thing, and they had like a guy, an advisor,
right?
Boomy, his name was. Remember him, Boomy, and you could go in there with like a business plan, and I had all these ideas back then with the music and all that sort of thing. And I remember talking to him one time, and I said to him, "We're going to do an event." We were doing Cobden Club. Do you remember the gentleman's club?
Cobden. Yeah. Up
in Kensal Rise, yeah. We were doing that, a couple of events there, comedy and all that sort of thing. We were doing comedy shows back then. Our comedian was the original White Yardie. What was his name? Older, white, Jamaican, thick accent. Was it Tony Hen? No, talking rubbish.
No.
Gosh, what was his name?
Someone in the chat, if anyone knows. Before White Yardie, who was the White Yardie?
He was an older, thick accent, white. What? That was before. Anyway, so we were doing those around then.
Yeah.
And I've lost
Tony Hendricks. That's what
was. It Tony Hendricks? It might have been. Yeah. It was. It actually was. I've totally, completely lost where I am in the East End of the story. I've lost it. I've completely lost.
No, okay. I think you.
I know it. Right, this is very important. Okay, so trying to do Iron Bar and do these sort of meet and mingle events at the same sort of time, because what I realized was I like people to socialize. I'm not that much of a social person myself.
Right.
Yeah, but I like people to socialize. And why I like people to socialize, I think, is because that's how I've grown up.
Right. Okay.
So Mum always used to have, like, Christmas is crazy in the house. And there's always a visitor coming up. My missus just earlier today sent me a video, of who's the actor? What's her name? She's there, so she'll say it in a second. Basically, African parents and how they used to have random relatives come over and stay for years in the house. Who is this person? All to this day. Do you remember that used to stay in the house? Oh yeah. What were they doing there? So it's very, very socials. It's very, very everyone come around. Aunties, uncles, always. My auntie Eunice always used to be around, kind of thing. So I mean, so that's almost embedded in me. Also, going church when I was younger. And they used to do the trips, Margate, right? Yeah, community-led events. And then I'm working in the youth centre, and then I'm bringing young, come in, let's do this, work with music, etc. So everything has been about community and bringing people together. The christenings, and I used to hate going to christenings when I was younger, the family christenings. And
Oh,
I used to hate them, absolutely hate them.
Why?
Everything I could to get out of them, because I'm not
Why?
a social person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not a social person. My social battery is very, and that people might not know that about me. To be fair, I'm not that much of a social person, or I wasn't. I think I'm better now.
I think you are.
I think I'm better now. Generally speaking, but
Let me go over
you know
it.
why? I might have had an overload of socialness when I was younger.
And that's it. That's fair. That
But
is
in
fair.
essence, I like the idea of people coming together.
Together.
Right.
And I think that's a major part of the social side of DJing. Because some people think it's all ego, all just playing, and sometimes it's being in an environment where you can say hello to different people and just socialize and be around them. And then also tell me if I'm wrong or you agree or not, when you put on an event and two people, you can see them meeting up. Oh my God, I haven't seen each other. Man. Look who it is, and all of that. And you're like, right, you've done that in my party. That's happened.
Right.
Like you know what I mean?
There is something you just said, which is key. You said when people say hello to each other. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. In a rave, you can't speak to each other. The music's too loud.
Fair.
It's the most social thing that happens because week in, week out, remember, I've been doing everywhere. Everyone's raving.
Yeah.
So it's the most social thing. It's the most popular social thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's also the least social thing to do at the same time because you can't socialize with people.
Yeah, with the noise and everything else.
You're putting your hand on the ear.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
I thought I was the only one with that
socialise.
technique, you know.
So the whole point of what I was trying to do, and I didn't realize it at the time, what I was trying to do with Iron Bar, and then what the Meet and the Mingle events were trying to do, was to provide opportunities for people to socialize.
Yeah. Which is good.
So take away the music for a second, but you can't take it away completely. The music has to be, there's a means to an end.
Yeah.
There has to be music at some point. So
Yes.
Meet and Mingle. We were doing bowling, Meet and Mingle bowling. That's very social now. But we had a DJ playing in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what other events were we doing? Bowling, all those sort of, I think we've done ice skating. We were doing all of these sort of things where you could, and then we started doing, at some point we started doing trip to Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was the same as I'm back in church. We're getting on a coach.
Yeah.
That was the most, so that's how, like, when I used to go into church, everyone knows each other. Because we come every week.
Right. Yes.
And then when you get on a coach, and by the time you get down there, everyone knows each other because we've been on a coach for like an hour, 2 hours going to wherever we're going.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's get on a coach, go to Thorpe Park. But again, people are not going to understand that. So we're going to get on a coach, go to Thorpe Park, and then we're going to go to a hotel and have a party in a hotel. So we're selling, do you see what I mean? It's
I
the
understand.
hotel aspect and the party.
Yeah.
That is really, because we're going to Thorpe Park for the day. Okay. So we've done Thorpe Park, and the way we've done it is, number one, get people socializing on the coach, which is easy enough. Because I remember getting on the coach and people would bring picnics along and sharing food. Everyone's sharing food.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Maybe everyone else remembers it too, because that's just happening. Everyone's It's very get to Thorpe Park, and then we organized a meet and mingle moments, because obviously Thorpe Park is massive. Everyone goes off and does their own thing. But what we said was, I don't know what time it was. It might have been 2 o'clock or whatever. Everyone's gonna meet at the KFC, and that was the plan. We meet at the KFC, and then we have lunch together. That was it.
Okay.
So we got, I don't know, I think it might have been one coach, the first one that we done. So we got 50 people.
Yeah.
One? Remind me. Thorpe Park was the first one, and 50 people, let's say we have, and I'm pretty sure it was more than that, but let's say we got that. And then we just met at KFC, and it was just, we're just social, innit? We're just socializing. Everyone's just, oh yeah. And it's the same thing you say of just people just seeing each other. Oh yeah, and people are just naturally because you're in an environment. We're in Thorpe Park. There's no negative vibes here, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Can I interchime it seems like from the outset now you've created the brand Big Business, you've added this sociable element into like putting on events in a different, not in a different way than what you did before when you were in the sound, the first sound. You know, it was party, brand name, bigging up your name, building up the soundboy thing, rare. But now you've had this social aspect that you're very, very, like, it's a vein within everything that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, growing up now, in my mind, you're nearly hitting the first Getaway.
Yes.
In speaking.
Exactly
you're
exactly at the right time.
Yeah. So how does it get to there? Because
it's almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Everything is. It's almost like a pot is bubbling and it's really weird because I'll tell you this now. I didn't grasp the gravity of what was happening at the time.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I didn't really. We were just doing, and this will be one of my things to like recommendations to people. Is just do. And be fearless about it. Just do.
There we go.
We organized what was called the Big Drive. And what we were going to do was everyone will meet at a point and then we're going to go on a drive.
Oh, man.
We're just getting on a drive. Where are we going? I don't know. Just top it up. Just top up the tank. And we just
top up
the
tank. Oh, blood.
Top up the tank. We're getting on the drive.
That'd be wicked.
We're getting on the drive. We're getting on the drive.
Yeah.
I'll do that now because cost of living and that. But back then we could do that. So the pot's really bubbling. We've got the city scene is heaving. We've got the Facebook page is popping off. Social media is happening. All of a sudden, I can put up a message, and hundreds of people see it in the next hour.
Wow,
like, that's unheard of. Because remember, all this time when we're organizing, like 10 years before that, organizing the events, doing Harrow Club and Paddington Arts, like it takes time because word of mouth takes time to go around West London and fill up a place with 200-300 people kind of thing. It takes
so time. As a technologically minded person, you're now getting a quantifiable. You can actually quantify your actions and then use that to turn into a promotional tool like, or whatever.
Crazy. I can just type and they're just there, ready. Like, that's madness. You know what I mean? What would take me maybe weeks to achieve, I can now do in an hour. You know what I mean? In terms of actually flying, because there weren't that many events going on. We could fly at back in the day. There's not that many events. It's literally just now and again whatever's going on. We might have to go Harlesden, we might have to go physically and flyer and look, Butch, you've done the street team, you know what it's like when you're like, you don't just go out one day, put it up and everyone knows.
No.
So I mean, every weekend,
continuous, multiple days, multiple
all of a sudden
nights.
Everything's bubbling. Cool. And then so it's almost like whatever events we were doing, it was good timing because whatever we said we were doing, people were just like, okay, because like we had the cheek to be organizing a big drive and just saying, we're going for a drive, or to say, we're going to Thorpe Park. If I had done that a couple of years before, we didn't have the momentum,
the community.
We didn't have the community there. But now we've got this bubbling over and we're going here and we're having a hotel. Okay, we'll try it out, kind of thing. Getting close to New Year's Eve now. We've done Alton Towers. I think actually Alton Towers might have been the first sleepover, to be fair. But in any case, we've done Alton Towers. Booked a hotel up there afterwards. And everyone's come down with their cups of drink from their room to the conference room. We just got a small conference room. I think we had maybe 2 coaches or something like that.
Okay.
100 people.
100 people,
We've got Celebrity Supers there. These are DJs we've got like coming along. And it was the weirdest thing because there is something very, very warm about people having their own drinks and pouring them in a room. It reminds me of the christenings. We're back in the christenings now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We're back in the christenings when we were younger, and everything's just, and everyone's just sharing, and it's very social. Cool. Couple more of those. We've done another Thought Park. Gone to Reading afterwards. Stayed in the Ibis Hotel. Now this is with Mr. White.
Okay.
Doing those events. Stayed in the Ibis Hotel. I think I was doing a recce. I was going to see the hotel and just check out everything. And then for the next time, and I think I was with Sharp. Was I with you, Charlene? I think I was with you. And we were just walking up and down the high street. And then walked down to and looking for another hotel, other hotels in the area, because Ibis wasn't the bed mattresses were it wasn't the best. But I mean, it was a vibe. The party. And walked down and then came across Penta Hotel.
Oh, Lord.
Randomly just came across Penta Hotel. It was like, what is this building? Oh, it's a hotel. Walked in. Whoa. Around this same time, we're doing other events. Again, now we're really pushing this social aspect and the whole getting people together. We've done an event called Mission Impossible Challenge. 4 coaches. And the whole thing of it was bring a coach or DJs from North, DJs from East, DJs from South, DJs from West. Again, this is me I'm just trying to bring people together. I'm just trying to bring people together. We even done a rave. I think it was Unity.
Oh.
Unity. Done a rave Unity. And again, that was one sound from, and this is when we've met Love Connection.
Oh, okay.
Love Connection were the East London.
They were the East.
Fab Vibes were the North London.
Yep.
We were the West London.
God, Fab Vibes.
South.
Yeah.
Who was South London?
Who was South?
Was it? I don't know if it was. I can't remember, because I didn't know that many South DJs. It would have been a South DJ that was in the city. I can't remember. Maybe it was. Was it Conspiracy? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, so we're doing that. Mission Impossible Challenge. City Love.
And
it
Cons.
Was City Love and Cons. Yes. Remember City Love? We're doing City. They started off and then they're in O2.
Yeah.
The scene is crazy.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible Challenge is perhaps one of my favorite events of all time.
Why?
So imagine we say we've got 4 coaches. We've chosen 4 teams.
Right.
South, North, East. East now South, North, and West. 200 people.
Yes.
Each coach is a team. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And what's going to happen is the team captains are the DJs. So Celebrity Supers West.
Okay.
Love Connection were one. City Love were a coach, and then someone else. Maybe Big Business or something.
Yeah.
So now you got team captains, and then what we said to them, what's going to happen is, when you get on your coach, you're going to get a document. Okay, a little booklet. It's called the Mission Impossible Challenge. So I created this booklet, and it was 100 challenges.
Oh, you're crazy.
That were impossible to complete in a day. And then we took these coaches. We went out to Brighton for the day. Yeah. Fearless, bro. Like fearless. So we went out. We planned to go to Brighton.
Yeah.
Now again, and this is what I'm saying to you again. I can't just tell people we get on the coach to Brighton, because we were doing that in church, and that's not acceptable. But no, hold on. After Brighton, we're going to a hotel. We're gonna have a party. Okay, we're coming. You see what I mean? So
the sociable, dancing
the
aspect,
social aspect, and the rave aspect, because that's by default. We love a party. That's
it's
the
our
reality
culture.
of it. So
It's
at
our
the end
culture.
there, 4 teams. They don't know anything about anything, Everyone's just on the coach. Little did they know this was this document was, I think there might have been 20 pages. It was all stapled together. It said Mission Impossible, do not open until the coach leaves. So the coach has left. And then we've got all the DJs on text message.
Yes.
So saying to them, stay on text, because some of it, we're going to have to text you. But, okay. When they open this document now, first page, choose a team name. They don't know anything about anything.
Right.
So now they've got to come up with a team name and write it in the thingy. And the second, I remember this very clearly. The second question was choose a deputy. So Celebrity Super's got to choose a deputy.
Okay.
From he's got 50 people on his coach. Choose a I don't know how you're doing it. Just choose a deputy.
Yeah.
Cool. And then when you go through this booklet, it's got challenges like.
I was gonna say, give us a couple examples.
Right. One page was draw a portrait of your team captain. So think about it. What have you got to do? You're gonna have to. Who's an artist? Who's good at drawing?
Because find the paper, find this, and
right. Everyone's got every challenge has got a number of points. So that was like maybe 20 points, for example. And there's a big sheet, just a blank slate page. Find someone to draw it. So now you got to go up and down the coach. Who's an artist? You do that bit. Other things were when we get to Brighton, we're gonna have an arm wrestling competition. Choose someone from your team. Yeah, who's gonna be repping your team?
Oh, stop it!
So when we got there and we went to the base that we got a club, a base.
Yeah.
And so we're all in the club. I'll never forget it. And so we're like, right, who's your team? Who's on your team? You got a couple of big guys there.
The wedges, all the henchmen them.
Obviously, you're saying, let me tell you. And so I remember very vividly, like, there's we got a table in the middle. This is a random restaurant in Brighton, you know, that we've said to them, yeah, we're coming down and we're doing this challenge thing for the day. And they're like, yeah, come down. So we've done that. Imagine they're there in the middle, arm wrestling. Everyone's all around the table, standing on tables, looking at it. Yeah. So we've done that and then done a couple other things. And then we've gone off to do the rest of the challenges. They've got a whole booklet to finish. Go take a picture of yourself in a room in the Hilton Hotel.
Oh, liberty. Without paying for the hotel.
I don't know how you're going to do it, but it's 50 yeah? It was
That's
take a
nuts.
picture of yourself serving ice cream from an ice cream van. Take a picture of yourself with a policeman. But it was all, and then there were little ones like, take a picture of 7 of your team members under the Brighton Pier. And you got to understand, it all sounds like fun and games, yeah? But the way I planned it was, this is going to get people socializing. Because think about it, who comes in a group of 7? There's hardly any groups of 7.
Right.
2, 3,
Yeah.
4. So for you to get those points, you need to link up with other people.
You know what?
You have to socialize.
You have to. And with 50 people on a coach, not everybody's going to be up for doing everything. So they're going to do the ones that they want to do. Right. And then someone's going to have to jump up and try and do the other ones.
Right.
Oh, bro. You know what? Hats off.
It was amazing.
Hats off.
Celebrity Super got drunk.
I can imagine.
It was amazing. We at the end of it, 5 o'clock or so, we said up till 5 o'clock, everyone come back to the base that we were in, the restaurant or whatever. Mm-hmm. Around 4 o'clock, I got a call from the restaurant and they said, yeah, we're gonna have to not have you back. Something to that effect. This is the same day of the We've been there earlier because we booked it for the whole day. We said we're gonna come down.
Yeah.
Around halfway through the day, got a call. No, can't have you back. That was kind of, and I've gone back to, in my mind, this is where we send someone else in.
Yeah. It's all gets.
And the only reason we're out now is because we left. If we had stayed in there, they would have had it, and then they'd never have us back again afterwards. I don't know exactly why. Maybe maybe too much noise. Maybe too many of us. Remember, there's 200 of us strong.
But was money being spent while you were in there the first time round, or was it just used as a link-up point?
The link-up.
Right, so that's money. Most probably what it is.
Yeah, probably no money. No, nothing on the bar. Probably. Yeah. So, dilemma, and this is events.
Yeah.
We're part of the schedule is we go back to the bar and then we announce all the winners. Got a call, we can't go back to the bar. What we doing? I've got 200 people still running around doing foolishness. And we're supposed to link back at the bar. And so somehow, I can't remember exactly how we sorted it out, but we ended up just messaging. I think we met outside the bar because obviously that's where everyone was coming back to.
And they know. Yeah.
And then we had to just kind of call the coaches and get on the coaches early and then go on to the hotel sort of thing.
Yeah.
But one of the greatest events, despite the issues, it was just the social aspect. It was the fact that everyone actually got involved and done it. It was the fact that someone took a picture. They were messaging us when they'd done it, when they completed things. Yeah, we got a picture of someone serving ice cream from an ice cream van. They'd gone up to the ice cream van and said, "Oh, look, we're doing this challenge." I don't know what exactly they said, but they managed to. There was a picture of them serving it.
Brilliant.
Ice cream.
Brilliant.
So loads of So
brilliant.
that was
Brilliant.
So now
And
we're
it's
doing different sort
for
of
the culture.
events. Yeah, and it's just working. But also the raves are happening as well. So that was a very important era. But as I say, when I look back on it, I didn't really grasp the gravity of what was happening. It was happening very fast, and I think it was accelerated, and it was happening fast because of social media and because of Facebook and how that came in and allowed us to build up the database. And that's when I realized the importance of having a database of people. That would be my other sort of suggestion or piece of advice.
Piece of advice for anyone.
Database.
Hold on to that thought. Slipping into the last half hour. The last half hour of what has been a very interesting insight into one of the city's, if not the UK's, finest quality. Nah, I'm going to big you up, bruv. If you don't give you your flowers, because as I said, I've known you now, even just hearing it from like near enough the start of your career, and to see where you are and still going, because we had that little conversation before we came on. It is an honor and a pleasure, and well done, bruv. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna have a little talk about more recent dates and more recent events and so forth. But not to hop, skip, and jump. I know people are enjoying the timeline talk. If you didn't know, this is Mr.XL from the Big Business family. And if you have been to their parties, you know it is about community. It is about socializing. It is about energy. It is about having fun and letting your hair down. That's one thing you can do as an adult. As an adult, as a big person. You can, you know what I mean? When the New Year's Eve, we'll get into it, but the New Year's Eve where you made people dress up as old people, when I saw those pictures, I wish I was there. It was amazing. Amazing. When I see the people then with the tissue tucked into the sleeve, and they're walking around and stuff like that. But we'll get into all of that.
It breaks down barriers.
Yes,
it breaks down barriers.
It does. I just want to bring in this little graphic.
Before that, can I shout out Elephant in the Room podcast? C6 was happening.
Oh yes, C6. Oh, is that C? Yeah, is he there? Good evening. Nice to have you here. You've taken us up to roughly what I would like to say is the beginning of the Getaway. But not only do you do the Getaway, a very important time happened maybe just after your first two Getaways and multiple events, which was lockdown. And I was always going to ask you about that, because you not only, to me, helped entertain your community, you know what I mean? I think you helped get a lot of people through that time, just of sheer, how can I say, ingenuity, and you know what I mean? Just the way that you had your passion for it, because what was it, the A to Z of slow jams? That was epic.
Very much enjoyed that.
I've tried to look for it to bring it on here, bruv. Salute. You put it on Spotify, haven't you?
Audio.
Yeah. So please, if you haven't, go over and check it out. The A to Z of slow jams. That kept people up, bruv.
Can I shout out?
Go ahead.
Let me shout out the missus, the wife on that.
Yes.
So she was a big part of that. She's smiling now, innit? She's in her eyebrows. No, she was a big part of that. It was weird. It's one of those things where people don't realize the planning that goes into a lot of these things. And there were a lot of DJs that were doing lives in that time and that kind of thing. And the planning, it's not always just jump on and just do. There's a lot of planning sometimes that goes in behind. And I remember us, like, it was every week before the show, like, she's there with me, we're going through tunes, and we know, okay, we've got to do, she was there, we were doing that kind of together. And it was also for us just to keep sane as well as to keep people entertained, and keep the spark there for DJing.
So I'm gonna firstly want to say good evening to one of our co-hosts, our founders, Mr. Diesel, in the place.
What up?
Day.
So what's good, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Midday.
Nice.
And I want to bring this back on very, very quickly. You came up with this bloody thing. I swear to God, this thing caused problems. You came up with this mad thing called the Wheel of Big Tunes in lockdown. Just a quick couple seconds breakdown of what it is and why you did it. Why did it cause DJ headache?
Yeah, when you got to remember some of the things that I do now, and we'll come on to this a bit later in terms of the present and the future.
Yes.
Some of the things I do now are things that we were maybe experimenting with years ago. As I say, 10 years, I think 2008, Kappa will tell you, Dukes will tell you, we were doing and Essay as well. Hey Essay. We were in Lancaster and we had a couple of little cameras. There was no HD. There was a couple little cameras.
Yeah.
And we were doing live shows and we had guests coming on. This is around the days of Mustard Bar. We'd have guests come on into the studio and there's different camera angles and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We were doing that back then. And we had nothing to play with apart from some old software. I can't remember what it was called, and a big PC and all that kind of thing. So to come into now where I can pick up my phone and stream. Whoa.
To a tech geek like you, that's
like me. Do you know what I used to do back in the day with my toys? And now you're giving me this? You see what I mean? Brunch, I used to, going back to when I was opening the toys, I remember one of my biggest achievements in life when I was opening these toys was, you know when you got the remote control cars?
Yes.
With the ones that had a wire?
Yes.
Yeah, so there was no aerial.
No, it was, and you had to follow the car.
They hadn't done aerials yet. You had to follow the car.
You had to follow the car, yes.
Right. Those times there, I used to love science because they had the circuits you were doing in school, in secondary school. Yeah, and they had the little light bulbs.
Yes.
Yeah, and the little, you join up the wires and all that kind of thing, yes?
Yeah, the little circuit boards, yeah.
Ones you used to take home sometimes. A nice little stash at home sometimes. Those days, Maplin was open, so I could buy a few bits and pieces as well.
Oh man!
My greatest achievement in life was cutting that useless wire. Why have we got a wire going to this thing? And more importantly, my mind is like, how is this? What is this? How is this happening? How is it that? Why is it when I push this one forward, the car goes forward, and that one back and left? I need to know. I need to understand what's happening. So what is going on inside this wire that is causing that to happen? So I've cut it.
And before you worked it out.
No, but that's the thing. That's part of the working it out.
That's how you worked it out.
That's how you work it out. A lot of the things people you open it to reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
There's wires and there's loads of wires. What do these wires do? I don't know. I've connected wires up to, and eventually what I managed to do was when I put up, one of those lights that I got from science class will come on. I put down, another one comes on. Left, another one comes on back. Now I'm understanding. Oh,
a signal wavelength. Yeah.
You see what I mean? So whenever I get something like that, I can go live, I can overlay stuff. What can we do? I can spin. I can bring that up. I've got DJs. How can we get creative? Yeah. Something that's more than just the mixing and
yep.
And then Wheel of Big, and again, it's my younger self that's had a big influence because Wheel of Fortunes. is
Of
growing
course.
up watching these things.
Of course, we watch
the randomness of it, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But now we're in an age where you don't just have to watch it; we can do it. We can do it. We have look. We grew up. Everything was forced on us, and it was all professionals that were doing it. And I say that to say, Neighbours, Home and Away. Everything we watched, everything we digested was all the professionals. And we are now in an age where, look at us. Look what we're doing right now.
Yes.
Look what's happening here right now. This is madness.
Very true. It is madness.
It's madness.
We're sitting down having a conversation about all of these things.
And that's what I say. There's no limits. And so that was an example of there's no limits to what you can do. The same thing with the slow jams. And I had the videos coming up on the screen and all that kind of. I love that sort of geeky stuff. Yeah.
I'm going to speak to about the different events because obviously I don't know, I mean, I'm not rushing you or nothing like that. I don't believe in rushing you, but I want you to talk about Royal Ascot. Where did that string add to the big business bow? How did it get there? Why did you add Royal Ascot to a sociable, as a sociable thing that's happened for many of years? How did it get round to the big business way of entertainment?
So let's go back to this East End story where lots happening.
Yeah.
Early city day, cities hustling and bustling.
Yes.
There was a guy who is doing major events in the city, but it's weird with the city because you've got so many different events happening, but they are all like completely different scenes, all in one scene, if that makes sense. So there's a guy called Obi who's doing Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous is a completely different scene from where we're doing Appreciation and those sort of raves.
Okay.
Two completely different scenes. It weren't the same. Like our lot weren't going to Gorgeous, if that makes sense. The West London lot weren't. It was two different. It wasn't mixing like that.
Okay.
I didn't know Obi those days. The only thing I knew was when we're out flying, who's this giant? Like, there's this giant guy, like that's out there flying, and he's always out there. There's never a time I went out to fly because we used to go out flying.
Of course. Yeah.
Never a time I went out, and it's like there's two of him because how's he everywhere at once? He's everywhere. Like, but I didn't know him. I just would always see this guy outside, and at some point, and I can't remember exactly. And someone will have to remind me how I met Obi, how we actually got to talking. But the reason I bring up Obi is because Obi was the one who suggested Royal Ascot. It was Obi's idea.
Okay.
So we were talking. I don't know if that was our first event or if we had done events before that. But he was like, we should. He wants to do Ascot. Like that's a bit too. Come on, you're gone too far. You're gone too far with it.
Was that your initial thought?
I'm used to doing pushing out the boat. We're doing Thought Park trips. We're doing Mission Impossible Challenge. We're doing going on a big drive. We're doing all sorts of nonsense.
And you've established the Getaway by then as well.
Getaway is established.
Yeah. And
he's like, we should do it. He wants to do Royal Ascot. Get on a coach. And I vividly remember him having a conversation with me and me just imagining like a whole heap of posh white women, to be fair, in hats, drinking champagne. That's all I could visualize in my mind.
Yes, that's
and the horses are racing by. That was the vision in my mind.
That's what we see on TV. Yeah.
And I was just like, what? No, that's not for. That's not for. Don't do that. Can't do that. And that was the first time he spoke about it, and it kind of just mellowed on it. And I think maybe it took about a year or two after he first mentioned it,
right,
before we actually went to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And the first time we done it, and I didn't even go.
What?
I didn't go. I can't remember. I think maybe because it's a Thursday. I'm working. What is this? On a Thursday? It's nonsense. I think I was working. And we'd sold 30 tickets. So it was a loss. Sold 30 tickets, one coach. And so White and Obi, I'm working with White quite a lot now. We're doing New Year's Eve, etc.
That's Mr. White for everybody who doesn't
White,
know.
sorry, Curtis. Yeah. And so they've gone there, 30 people. They had a great time. They're taking pictures, all that sort of thing. So they said, "Oh yeah, it works. Let's try it again." And so we done it the next year. This time I've gone, and then this time I think it was 2 coaches. Now around this time we're seeing the next year we're seeing African ladies. Yeah, I think it was African ladies who were doing this trip, and and this is where Obi's selling it to me now, because if anyone knows Obi, if you speak to Obi, he's a sales guy. He could sell anything to you. He will sell. Like he's a sales guy. Like he's the guy that and he's got accountancy background as well. So he watches the pennies as well, and he can get good deals and that sort, because he'll do that. So the next time he said, "Yeah, let's do it again. This is what the numbers look like." He said the numbers look good, and African ladies are doing it, and they've got I think they had 2 coaches or 3 coaches or something like that time. They're on BBC News now. So now, okay, there's groups like us that are going out there, sort of thing. Second time we've done it, we've taken 2 coaches out there, 100 people. I think we put up a little dibby sound system, like a speaker. It was just a speaker up,
it's a little speaker.
That's 100 people. Done it again. It's doubled. It's now 200 people. Gone to do it again, and it's now 400. I think it was 470 people.
You have to laugh. Serious?
What? I don't even understand. Do you see what I mean? It wasn't. It's something different, and it's working. And 400 something people booked. And January, that New Year's Eve happened. Number 10, we done the Getaway X. 2000 and whatever year that was. December. January, loads of people are getting ill. February, COVID.
Yeah, so 2019,
March.
end of 2019, March, 2020. Yeah.
March,
Lockdown.
everything's lock off. 470 people booked. Can't do Ascot. Money's in the bank. Everyone's paid. Everyone's fully paid. Money's in the bank. You can see it there. Everyone's paid.
Oh, so then, okay, so logistically, here's a logistical point. Is this one of those things where you had to adopt the kindness and the industry standard? Look, here's your money back, blah blah blah, or is it a tactical move to say, hey, we're not sure, but we can roll over to next year? What was your options?
Yeah, we gave them the option. You can cancel, or we'll just hold it, roll over to next year. So some have cancelled, some have rolled over. I think maybe quite a few rolled over. I think maybe about 300.
Was the team flexible with that? Were you lot all happy with that, being flexible?
Because I mean, ultimately, we haven't executed the event. So for me, it's let you get your money back or roll over. Obviously, we've now entered domain no one understands. No one is completely new. Makes sense. So I think maybe we refunded maybe about 100 odd people, and about 300 stayed. From what I remember,
that's not bad.
Cool. It wasn't bad.
That's a lot of staying power.
It was. I mean, because people didn't really. No one really understood it. It's just okay. Just leave the money in there.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Whatever. Years gone by, and then the second one hasn't happened because COVID again. So now we got the money of 300. We've held that for a whole year. It's been sitting in the. It's sitting in the bank. Held that for the year, and then that hasn't happened. And so now we've had to do a complete, full refund because we can't hold it for another.
No.
You don't realize pain as a promoter until you have to refund,
give money back,
and not just a couple of people because something went wrong, but a complete refund. The money is sitting there, it's within grasp, and a complete refund. It's one of the most painful things, especially when it's something that's completely outside of your control.
Yeah,
sort of thing. So yeah, that was 400 and some odd, down to 300, and then a complete cancel. Ended up doing a virtual event and just played music for the day and watched races on there, and had about 10 people join. which was was interesting. So, and then the next year, the world's opened up again,
Yeah.
and now we're back to 500.
Shellers.
Back to 500.
Sold out. Okay.
Sold out 500. We've linked up with Noir, based up in, was Noir that year? No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Or maybe, no, I think they were actually. So they've brought a couple of coaches, and we've now got coaches coming down from different cities in the UK.
What?
Coming down to Ascot. So Birmingham's coming down. One's coming from Essex. And it's sort of just spreading around a little bit. And I think at that point, how many coaches? Yeah, we had about 10 coaches. And so now we've entered a new level of event, and it's kind of come before we've actually planned it.
Go on, explain.
Well, we haven't intended on getting 500 people. That wasn't, let's get 500 people. It's just, whoa, this is blow it up kind of thing. So
yeah,
it was happening before we were sort of really prepared for it. And anyone that deals with 500 people and has to deal with food, because we were including food in the package. The food included drinks, included food, and when you're dealing with 200 people, that's fine. 200 people cater, it's fine. It's no problem. When you have 500 people that have all been drinking on a coach and then come and settle down, and then they need food, any delay, any sort of anything is going to be a major problem. And that was a huge problem. We had major issues that day, from a whole pot of rice getting burnt and they had to start it all over again. To what else happened? Not enough. There wasn't enough of the first course.
Oh, okay.
There probably was, but you know how some people
portion
a bit hungry. In their defense, there should have been more than enough to.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's a learning process as well. Obviously, we've paid in good faith for what we said was we want this, but what happened just wasn't enough. It wasn't coming out fast enough, and I think there's probably very few event organizers that haven't been through that whole thing of you're trying to get food out to people, and it's taken a while. And do you know what I'd say about that is I don't hold the catering teams and that sort of thing. I understand from their point of view the logistics behind it all. Yeah. Because what you have to remember is, even if you look, if you go to a restaurant and there's just a small group of you, you're not getting food for the first, you sit down, you're not getting food for the first 15 minutes. You're not going to get food straight away. It gets ordered, but obviously you're there. You're not thinking about the food because you're out to just socialize. You're talking to whoever you're with, etc. That sort of thing. Yeah. If you go to, I don't know, a wedding, for example, and the food is free, it doesn't all come out straight away. If you've got 200 people there, it's not straight away. It takes a little while to happen. The difference is when you've paid for something, then you expect it now. But let's really think about it. The logistics of feeding 500 people at the same time, it just doesn't work. Yeah. It actually just doesn't work. There's going to be a delay.
Someone's waiting.
There's going to be queues. There's going to be people waiting. That's just logical. Like, short of us having, I don't know, 20 stations, food stations. Yeah. And then you split up the fight, and even then, you're still going to be queuing. Yeah. Especially for the type of food that we're dealing with. Look, we've come from Roti Hut in Shepherd's Bush. How long did you have to wait for one roti hut? Don't. And week in, week out, it was full. Do you see what I mean? There, but it was full because but we had major issues that one, and then we had the emails afterwards. Yeah. We always put out a feedback form for our events. Always put up a feedback form.
That's good practice.
The feedback was, we got slated. That I didn't get food at all. This happened. Never coming again. Etc. Etc. Absolute nightmare. And this would be one of the other things I say to event organizers is, never give up. Never give up. Things will
Okay.
go wrong in events. Take that and use that to improve in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, because much as people will be upset with you about what's gone wrong, as long as you show good intention, you take accountability for what's gone wrong, and then you fix it in the future, they'll come back. Because we were like, oh my gosh, 500 people, we had maybe 200, 300 complaints, and then the next year we had 1,200 people. So that's what I'd say to and I've seen events around me, and I love it. I love it when I see fellow event organizers, promoters, whatever you want to call yourself. I love it when I see them take when I see them take accountability for something that's gone wrong in the event, and they do that, and I've seen it. I've seen events. I won't even talk about which specific ones. You probably know, but I've seen events go horribly wrong, all sorts of things, and then they've managed to get their brand back.
Right.
You know what I mean? People will be upset in their moment, but just acknowledge it, accept you've done wrong, and then just feel about how you're going to fix it. And brands, it's very hard for a brand to completely die, because I've seen brands do all sorts.
Yeah.
And all sorts of things happening, and there's still people still come back. They'll still come back. You know what I mean? Because at the heart of it, people know, like, you meant well. It wasn't. It's not like you're trying to rip people off.
It's not intentional.
It's not an intentional.
Yeah, it's not an
just,
intentional thing. It's how you handle the complaints and how you handle. Yeah. That's real.
Yeah, and that sort of comes on to what we were talking about before the show even started, of the whole. Everything is a learning process, and we are still learning, and we have to accept that we're still learning as event organizers, and we're not sort of at the complete peak of where we need to be. We still have a lot to learn about little things.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I think we're gonna have to do some overtime. I don't want to kick you off. We're talking. You're not going nowhere, XL. Yeah, even if it's five minutes, 10 minutes, you're not going nowhere, because this is serious. Even thank you to everyone in the comments as well. You know what I mean, showing that love. If you've got any questions or any points or anything that you just want to shout out, please use the comments. We are active. We do put them up. Melissa Dean showing you some love there, saying yes, well done. UK Web Boy saying yep, real talk. LL Marketing showing some good advice. And this is what it's about. You know what I mean? This is what we try to do on the Real SoundCheck podcast. Our special guest, Mr.XL. Mr. Diesel's here, Dave Knight's here, myself, Butch Cassidy, each and every Monday. Big shout to the rest of the family as well. I'm gonna press you. I'm gonna press the button, because I think something else happened after lockdown, didn't it?
So wait, Old School Brunch is an interesting one. Old School Brunch actually started before lockdown.
Oh, it did? It
had
did?
one.
Oh, okay.
We had one in... Dukes will help me out. Oh, Sway. We had one in Sway.
Okay.
Amazing brunch. It was great.
Yes.
That was our first entry into brunches sort of thing. We linked up. And to be fair, Old School Brunch began before we got involved with it. So
okay.
Between us and Curtis White, Mr. White,
Mr.
and
White.
Speedy as well. And
so collaborations as well. Collaborations is something that you're open to as an events events company, shall I say?
Definitely. A couple of people I've worked with. To be fair, I forgot as well. I was doing comedy shows as well with Livewire. Shout out to another.
Oh, Livewire, yes. Salute. Yep.
Yeah, so I was doing the World Comedy Clash with him so over the past. We're doing it in Camden Centre when that was available. So it's all that's another
branch
of the storyline kind of thing. Loads there. That's.
But this little puppy here, you're selling out every month.
This is selling out every month. This is nice. This is a very nice event. This is Old School Brunch. So it started before lockdown, and then lockdown happened. And then what we were doing, we took it online. So we were doing like a Saturday afternoon brunch, for example, but
That
brunch as in
makes
you don't
more
get your food.
sense, right?
And then we started doing quizzes online, old school quizzes as well. And the quizzes were the weirdest thing because we were saying to people, we didn't want to charge, it's free kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we were just saying, look, I think it was Eventbrite, you could do a donation, whatever. So we were saying, look,
yeah,
just you pay what you want to pay. Here you go, it's up to you. You can do it free, or you could give us what you want.
yeah.
And people were paying for online. It was like, what? Because how do you value online? We used to raves start at 10, 15, 20. Online? No idea. So people were just kind of contributing, and then we started taking that and using that for the prize. So we say however much we generated, then we'd use that as the prize.
Clever.
The prize money kind of thing.
Clever.
So we were doing those at peak. It was hitting like I think we hit about 250 people on the online quizzes.
Nice.
Online, just they're at home playing quizzes kind of thing. So that then led into when lockdown kind of finished. Now we've got a good audience of people there, and so we could carry on kind of the old school brunch. Really great brand in that it's a nice mix of people. It's a very kind of it kind of almost takes me back to when it was the balance between West Central and East Central in terms of the demographics and the people that attend. We've got white, black, Asian, everything's in there kind of thing. And so it's a good mix. But music is universal, especially now that you've got Spotify and all that. So everyone knows everything. It's not as what's the word? It's not held back anymore. It's not as controlled.
Well, this leads me to the topic of what I wanted to also add to you, which is the old school element. What is it about 90s old school music, my brother, that is still, how many decades later, swinging? Like, I don't know what happened. Like, events back to the 90s, old school brunch. We made the 90s. I was born in the 90s. 90s are us. 90s are the 90s kids party. 90s that. It's everything is that. What would you? What's your take on what you think it is? Why that thing? You know, it's still, even to the point of, and I have to say this. Wait a minute. I think there's another little picture back here somewhere. You do another party.
Yeah.
You do another party.
90s meets noughties. That was
that meets noughties. You know
that's
what I mean?
another part of the storyline I forgot to mention. So we were doing events.
It's all right. It's fine.
With Love Connection, another big part of the whole story.
Yeah.
So Love Connection, we were doing I Love the 90s with Love Connection.
I remember.
That was the weirdest time, and again, I didn't quite grasp the gravity of what was happening at the time, but like we were selling that out like 500 people, and we were selling that out with like a couple of text messages, and again, because we've got the Facebook pages and we've got all the pictures going up, we're able to just put a flyer into the album, and people are seeing it, and you're seeing hundreds of people are seeing this because all the tags, we're seeing the tags coming in kind of thing. So we weren't flyering at that point because it was weird. We didn't need to. We'd do a CD, we'd give it a couple of CDs, and then 500 people. But I didn't really at the time grasp.
I wish.
I didn't.
Diesel, did you hear that?
I didn't grasp it. I didn't.
Ta-da!
Yeah, ta-da! 500 people are there.
I know them ones.
No. It's the weirdest thing. Just looking back on it now, it's the weirdest thing because, as I say, it wasn't intense. This is what we want to do. It was just happening. It was very, very organic, and it was just a vibe. And again, that would be another piece of my advice: do for the love. We're just doing it for the love. We're just enjoying it and enjoying the ride, and everything came as a result of that. That makes sense. So Love Co. Shout out Love Co. So Fox X Rated. We've done a lot of events with them, and so that 90s noughties was kind of.
So what is it about the old school that is still, you know, why is it still here? Why do you think it is?
It's an interesting question. Why is the old school still here? Because
Just your ideas. There's no wrong or right answer. I just wanted to-
Some of my best memories. Obviously, music. Music is like it. You can hear a tune and it brings you back to a time.
Fact.
Yeah? Music is very. Do you know what I mean? So when you hear the songs, it's not just hearing a song and singing along to it. You're hearing it and then you're remembering. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, as well as all the, and remember that period was just look, before the 90s, we didn't have our own. Remember, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, channels 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, cable TV. And everyone's got this chip box that they can watch everything. I don't know who had it.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
So now you've got all that, and now we've got access to a whole lot of music in a way that we'd never had it before, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, before we were getting it organically from people, or getting record shop, or when you're christenings, but now I could watch and then see everything that's happening, and we're getting things straight in from everywhere. So the way we digested the music and how much we loved music more because remember that before that we're listening to Kylie Minogue and all that. We were forced to listen.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we were forced to listen to Top of the Pops.
Forced to listen to Top of the Pops.
Top of the Pops,
And
Capital.
all the
all of them lot. Yeah.
Now, here's music that, and people that are like us. So it was an amazing kind of transformation.
I remember when Kiss FM launched. Yeah, I remember when Kiss FM launched, and that was just a breath of fresh air. Having a hip hop show dedicated. You know what I mean? Max and Dave and stuff like that. Yeah. It was nuts.
Certain hip hop DJs as well.
Yeah.
And then you have, I remember when One Extra launched as well.
Yeah.
The big hoo-ha. I mean, so I think that's why, because it changed from us being forced to listen to music that wasn't really ours to, oh my gosh, on TV every day, I can watch everything, all these videos, all these images that we're seeing. So I think that's why that era is even more significant, if that makes sense.
Because it's the first
time that we were able to digest on our TV screens like that.
When the door opened, didn't it?
The door opened.
But then how, like, this is up to everyone on the screen, how was it now transcend to another generation that, and I say this in the most respectful way, they didn't even exist. They were sperm and eggs. But they are now adults, and all they do is dress 90s, speak 90s, wear 90s, and want to go to 90s parties. The 90s actually made them, literally made them. And that's all they know. Like, this is it. And it's mad because, you know, we, as you said, we were the test bunnies. We were the first. We were the first to touch the BBC Model Micro. We were the first to touch the first Apple. We were the first to touch the first Mega Drive, the first Nintendo. You know what I mean? Everything, the first CDJs, the first everything. It was
a significant era. It was very significant. It was a transition from analog to digital. That was to digital. We were in the middle of it. It was happening, sort of thing.
It was that thing.
But so actually, when they listened to 90s, a lot of the 90s was influenced really by the 80s, especially when you talk about hip hop. And that,
it was.
They were doing a lot of sampling from the 80s. Fair. So actually, so it's almost like the 90s was like the digitalization version of the 80s. So it's a nice little bridge. They won't listen to 80s as much. They might a bit, but it's a nice little bridge between where we are now and where we were before the 90s, because that's when it got digital and people had access. People were able to make music videos. We didn't really see that in the 80s as much. You saw a couple of them, Michael Jackson, but these were big scale, Milli Vanilli and that sort of, Black Box, etc. They were 80s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but the MTV Bass came about, the box came about.
Man. Well, Your MTV Raps came about.
Your MTV Raps.
Yeah.
Sorry, Raps was before Bass, sorry.
Yeah.
And so I guess, and this is what I'm just thinking now, I guess it was that amplification of accessibility
Yeah.
to the music. You no longer had to just like go to, remember the DJs were the gatekeepers originally. And you no longer had to kind of, because how did in the 60s, 70s, who put that up? Someone just put that up. 70s, 60s.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How were you hearing new music?
It's true.
How were you getting new music? Because
The radio.
Yeah. Gatekeepers. Listen to the radio. But to be fair, when did the pirate scene kind of kick off?
Same time.
60s, 70s. Our pirate scene, as we know.
I would say
radio was
late
but
70s, 80s. Pirates started.
That was a pirate start. Yeah.
Yeah, the pirates started.
And again, that was significant in terms of the accessibility to music. It was a significant, and that's why the 80s are so.
And it was to play alternate music, alternative music.
Reach new,
because it wasn't just
audience is quicker.
Yeah, and it wasn't just what you call it, like wanting to play reggae and hip hop and stuff like that. There was pirate stations dedicated to garage at the time. There was pirate stations dedicated to drum and bass at the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they were able to amplify a new thing, because you know, in all of the first that I did, I forget to mention house and garage, jungle. They were first created within that decade. Yep. And I mean, like, and as you said, yes, they took samples from 70s and so forth and whatever, but that version was created in the 90s. Yep. And it's just stark. It's just stark.
Have you noticed that there seems to be a lot of artists now sampling from the 90s? You hear the tune, it's like, I know that tune, but then they've literally sampled the actual song.
I think you're being polite. They just use the rhythm. They ain't got no time. Forget all that production stuff, mate. I'll just sing on it.
Change the drums, innit?
That's it. Just change the drums. That's it.
And I think after the 90s, because things got digital, and so you saw the end, not the complete end, but you saw the kind of end of how music was made originally.
Yes.
You've now got a new way of music being made.
Yes.
Which kind of affected the originality. It affected the dynamics of the music. And when I say the dynamics, as in there's a very big difference between, I don't know, Gwen McRae and that kind of thing, and the way the intro started and all that kind of thing. And where, all right, we're just going to do 16 intro, 16 and 16. You see what I mean? It kind of so look, I played just the other day at a rave, Nigel B, Special Touch.
Yes.
The birthday dance.
Blessings, Nigel.
And
blessings.
And when I say our, I talk about our era and our 90s. Our base is the 90s.
Yes.
The range of music that we have in the 90s can't talk to the 80s at all.
Oh my God.
No,
didn't we have this clash before? We've had this clash talk before.
Talk to it.
90s can't talk to 80s.
You can't. I'll tell you why. Do you know what it is? There was a lot of music being made, but no, do you know why? Because what happened was in the 90s, because you see when things become so accessible, sometimes things get lost in that accessibility.
Okay.
Talk the things, as Butch would say.
Go on. I'm trying to get it.
You've got more music being made and more accessibility to it. Like, look, I'll look in my Serato, for example.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I knew inside out my record box collection when it was there. Inside out.
Yes.
I don't know my Serato inside out. Do you know someone will come to me and say, have you got this tune? I'm like, and I type it and I'm like, oh, it's there. Imagine that. Like, oh,
yeah.
Where did I get? Oh,
yeah, because you're talking 30,000 songs. It's 20,000 songs.
I can't digest that music the same way they could digest the music in the 80s and 70s. They had to listen to it, but they had to. We don't have to listen. Skip. We don't have to listen. There's more than enough there that we don't have to listen.
Okay, now
the whole album. We don't.
Now you've touched it. Now you've touched the subject. Now, with the skip. Do you think that has now affected the way that some DJs approach their sets?
Let's not get into DJing. That's a whole different topic. It's a whole different topic. I don't know. Do you know what I think about DJs? I think that DJs should just, everyone should just do what they want to do and enjoy their sets, and everyone will be happy.
You
That's what I
think so?
about DJs. Everyone should just enjoy their.
Really?
Their will be good if the audience enjoy and the DJs enjoy. Like, because do you know what? And what frustrates me with that is I see so many posts mainly on Threads. To be fair, and there's always a DJ talking about DJ should this and DJ should do what they want to do. Be fearless. Do what you want to do. You are creative, yeah, and creatives can't be pigeonholed into this is what you should do and that's what you should do. So do what you're doing and enjoy it.
Yep.
I hear that, but I believe if you're in front of people and you're getting paid to do a job, they come first. Sorry.
Yeah, but you being
sorry,
paid
I'm that's
to
just
job
me.
that you've been to be a creative and be you and do what you're doing.
I think there's a fine line where you can be you and be creative, but bring it. You can bring yourself to that thing, but if your main role of you being hired in a certain facility or that way where you're entertaining strangers, be mindful. That's all I say.
But then that would be in the hand.
I don't know, Diesel. You're saying you waving your head. Well, no.
Well, I mean, the key word that XL said is creative, innit? So, you know what I mean? If you're going to be creative is often spur of the moment. Creative is often, right, I thought of this just now, let me try it. You know what I mean? You know how many times XL is a perfect example. You know how many times I've heard that man and all of a sudden he's just pulled this mix out and you're like, rah, man's made a whole new tune out of you know what I mean? That's part of the creativity, isn't it?
It's a creativity. I think
that's
everyone
part
should
of
just be
it.
creative and then it's okay. I think it's a different type of job, and it's one of the few roles in not roles, kind of careers, and it's the same with artists. You're an artist and do what you're doing. It's not like, I don't know, I work in a restaurant and I'm hiring someone to come and serve, and you need to serve in a specific way. You have to make sure and that's a bit. We're creatives, so we just got to get creative and do what we're doing, and you got to. I think it's down to event organizers, I guess, to choose the right creative for the audience that they wish to attract, I guess.
Okay. Just asking, because I definitely believe that it's a question, as you said, it pops up on Threads, it pops up on my timelines as well, and in the WhatsApp groups that I'm in as well, and people saying that, you know, they think scratch DJs should only be for like certain competitions and stuff. Why are you scratching in the middle of a club night on a Friday night? We don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? We just want to hear the songs and stuff like that. But why are you chicka 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 chicka? You know what I mean?
They use the word we, but they mean I, really. They can't speak for other people.
No, you can't speak for other people. But what I'm saying is, like say DJ A has got a routine that he's practiced all week. He's gone to the club at 11 o'clock and he wants to do the routine as he or she knows, you know, as they've practiced it. But Fred, John, Stephen, and Matthew in the club just want to hear the song. So where does creativity and then delivery meet or not meet? And that's where I'm trying to understand. You know, how do you then coach the next generation worth of DJs that you're hiring to say, hey, I know you're a scratch DJ, but could you just, like, you know what I mean, play songs for me, please? You know,
but that's what I'd say. If you don't want to book a scratch DJ, why would you tell a scratch DJ not to scratch? Just don't book them.
No, but they could be a good selector.
No, but then they're not right for you. If you don't want scratching, they're not right for you. Just don't book
Let them cook, as they say.
Yeah. That's what I truly believe, that every DJ matters. And every DJ should just do what you're doing and do it to the best of your ability and enjoy kind of doing it. I think there are a lot of DJs. Remember, I've come from vinyl. There are a lot more DJs, but there are a lot of industries that are affected by, and you could put it down to technology and accessibility. There are loads of industries that are also affected by photographers, for example. Back in the day, you couldn't just pick up a camera. All of a sudden, cappers just pick up a camera. Now we're photographers, and now what kind of thing? You see what I mean? So there's loads of industries. I think we just see it from our sort of viewpoint. But what I would say is, from my point of view, I like I'm a technical person originally, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So when you see me, I need to know what these decks do, and I'm doing tricks and thing in a rave, and it could be argued that, and it probably is very true, that the crowd don't care, but I care.
Right.
I care.
That's
I'm
your creativity.
That's my creativity. It's what keeps me coming out every week. Because if you want me to come up here and just stand up and just
push the buttons,
I'm gonna get tired of that after a while. But if I'm like that, it doesn't matter if you're not like, you're like, why is he bubbling like that? Just dance. If you're dancing, I'm doing my thing. We're good. Everyone's nice. Just I mean,
just don't come near me when with the start clanging. I definitely support that. I definitely feel it's a thing, because don't forget, you hire DJs, and I've also wanted to know from a promoter's point of view, do you ever like have a little mumble and a little word to say, you're right, bruv, look, just hold it down a bit, you know what I mean? Or do you just literally unclip the leash and say, go on, get them? Like, you know what I mean? Just let it off and just let them go, you know what I mean?
Honestly speaking, as an event organizer, I've been through both. And this is what we were talking about earlier, in terms of I'm still on a journey where I'm still learning a lot. I'm actually doing a course at the moment in events management. Imagine.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm doing a course at the moment. I just thought I just want to do an official something and learn something. So in the past, I have been very specific about what it is I wanted, and that is just my passion for the event and how I visualize that event going, and how so even at our peak when we were with Love Connection, both DJs, we were at a point with the 90s versus noughties events. No, I love the 90s events, where we would plan like the whole night, like in terms of what music we're playing, and the how long we're playing them for. So it wasn't necessarily the songs we're playing, but it was literally down to the minute, as in like 38 to 42, a bit of Miami bass and da-da-da. And it wasn't rigid, as in we couldn't change it, but what we were trying to do was make sure that we take them on the actual journey. For us, it was like, you see, like where you got artists on stage and they got this is what these are the tunes I want, not the tunes, but these are I want them to get this experience kind of thing. Yeah. So we were at its peak, we were doing that. And obviously what you got to remember is that the ravers, they don't care and they don't know what's going on. So it's only us that knows, realistically.
I think they do care, because you get complaints.
No, but they don't know that we've planned it so meticulously.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yes.
They have no idea. It's just all they're getting is an experience, and they come away from it and they've heard everything. Yeah. Because what we were finding with it was sometimes, obviously with the times and that sort of thing, we'd get to the end and be like, oh, we've forgotten this or we've forgotten that.
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
So we wanted to make sure when you come, you're getting the full. And I think that actually contributed to how successful that event was.
Yeah, a planned set always goes down.
Yeah, and it wasn't a fully planned set, to be fair, but it was just make sure in this section, man bass, make sure soca, make sure that sort of thing.
Brilliant.
But then what would happen is that would spill over a bit into when I'm organizing events and then booking DJs, because I remember there was a period where I was very specific. Look, this is what I want. This is what I want here, and it's like micromanaging the whole thing.
Yeah, I think some events need it. I think some, not all, but some events actually need it. I think depending on the amount of DJs that you got and so forth. I think if you have a lot of DJs, then yes, put them in there. I want 90s this, or I want old school this, or whatever. But if it's like 2 or 3 sounds for the night, then you're both there. You don't need to, you know what I mean? You know what's being played. You're both standing right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Also there's not the issue, but there's you as the event organizer. You might or might not, it depends on how it is, but sometimes you might have a vision of how you want this night to go, of the balance of new to old, for example. It might be as simple as that. Let's just make it simple. The balance of old school and new school. And I might say, right, as you said, 90s is playing all the time. So I might just say, look, I don't want this event to just be an old school event. Now, if I book DJs who by default only play old school, and this happened in the past, we've had a whole heap of DJs and we've said, look, we want some new school in there, but we've booked DJs who by default back to old school. And then at the end, as the organizer, you're there moaning, we didn't play any new school. Yeah, but we booked them. And we should know what, like, why would you book a DJ and not know what it is they're going to kind of bring to the table, generally speaking, if that makes sense. So there's that as well. You as the event organizer, and it's different. Sometimes you're organizing an event and it's just, I want this kind of vibe and I'm going to book this set of DJs because this is the type of event I want. And then sometimes it's, well, no, this is how I want my event to flow. I want it to be 90% old school and 10% new school. I want it to be 50% old school and 50%. I want it to be new and fresh and that sort of thing. And then you book accordingly, but you might do some beefing. I don't think there's a right or wrong, but I think what I've realized is it can remember, we're creatives.
Yes.
So as soon as you tell a creative what to do, you're tampering with what they do.
Okay, that's fair. That's a very good point.
People have to remember, the event organizers have to remember, and I've been in the past where I've been to booked as a DJ and gone to the event, and then and before the event, and the organizer said, look, I want you to do this. Even to this day, I've got a play out coming out in a couple of weeks, and they said, right, we want you to do this set, dancehall, for example. This is what we want for that hour. And that's cool because I understand as an event organizer that I fit into a bigger picture. It's not just about the hour that I'm there kind of thing. And then some will just be like, you do what you do, you bring the party, just do that stuff.
I
don't know, I don't mind either. I like a combination of both of them. I like to I like a combination. I like sometimes being told, like, right, this is what we need to do, because that allows me to like focus a bit more, because I don't just turn up and like my brother, wife, brother's missus, we were talking the other day, and they were asking about when I go to DJ, when do I pre-plan sets and that kind of thing. And I was saying these days I don't choose what I'm going to play until about 5 minutes before.
Yep.
Like,
we've had that discussion here as well. Yep. It happens.
I said, listen, I leave everything till about 5 minutes, because at 5 minutes before, the previous DJ is unlikely to change what they're doing. So at that point, I can, unless I've spoken to them in advance and I know them, I said, what are you thinking, or whatever, or it's a specialist DJ. If it's, I don't know, if Pioneer's before me and I know Pioneer's not gonna be playing dancehall, so we're good. Kind of thing.
So you're nice, you know you got a little lead, but if it's a multi-genre DJ, then you have to either work with or work around them, so to speak.
So sometimes I like it because then I know they've been told what to do, and so when I come to do what I come to do, if you're telling me do late noughties hip hop, give me that Rick Ross, or like early 2010s, 2009, 10, 11. Rick Ross, some early Drake, some early Kanye. Listen, now in my mind, I'm ready to, and then in my mind, I'm thinking about what other ones kind of thing, rather than looking at 20,000 tracks and thinking, all right, cool, what to do now kind of thing. It goes back and forth. I like, as an event organizer, sometimes I like to say, look, this is what I need to be done. And then sometimes I'm just like, look, you just do what you do.
For the penultimate time, I'm going to hit this button. And I have to, and I hope everyone don't mind, is this puppy here, the Getaway.
Oh, the Getaway is one of my favorites, to be honest. The Getaway, I'd like to go to the Getaway.
Listen to that.
I'd like to go to the Getaway. Getaway is like the culmination, is the combo of everything that we've been trying to do over the years. Party with the social aspect. And for me, the social aspect, I said it earlier, the social aspect and the community and bringing people together, that is at the heart of what I want to do.
For anyone who has not been or doesn't even know what the Getaway is, it's a New Year's Eve party, but how would you describe it as the promoter? What would you say is the essence of the Getaway?
The Getaway is social meets party. Social meets party, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's so right. You see, this is the Getaway. Someone told me a story the other day about the Getaway. So a couple of guys, they're outside the room at the Getaway. It's a couple of years back in Penta, and they're outside their room. The door's open, and they got a couple of bottles down on and they're just vibing, drinking. It was cool. Another couple of guys that they don't know come to walk past. I can't remember the exact story, but another couple of guys come to walk past them on the corridor to go where they're going. They don't know them. One of the guys that's sitting down with the drinks and everything looks at them, says, "You're not going to just walk past like that." So the guys are like, "Okay, what's going on there?" The guy's gone, "No, you can't just walk past and not have a drink. Like, come on, man. You see that there?" Like, when I heard that, I said, work is done here. You see what I mean? That sort of energy. Because what happens is, what we do throughout the daytime in the Getaway, it sets the scene for the party later. Yeah? Because, like, by breaking bread with people, drinks and that kind of thing with people from the coach journey. Remember, there was a point where we had 6 coaches coming down. So we've got 300 people standing outside on Victoria, and they're just seeing each other, and nothing's happening. They don't realize, but you're just seeing and you're familiar. Who's that? Guys are walking around. Who's this? Who's that? And etc. Get on the coach. You now got 50 people, but you're more familiar. Now some people at the back. You got TT at the back of the coach. Yeah, everyone, come on, get drinks. Just pour drinks for everyone, and that kind of thing. People got breaking out their chicken. Oh yeah, go and have some sort of thing. Again, you're socializing. You get into the venue. You're going up and down the lift, every time you get in the lift, you're seeing another few people. "Oh, how you doing? You're right." It's very social sort of thing. The guys are there. Yeah, they just gave us drinks just like that. We're cool. Get to the party now. So we've had one issue in the 10 years that we were at Penta. One incident. So if there's going to be an incident in the party, say for example, I don't know, 2 guys are walking and one guy bashes past without realizing he's drunk or whatever. He bashes past next guy, drinks all over him. That's a problem. Yeah. Guy looks at the other guy. He's about to get into one. "Wow, that's that guy that he offered me a drink earlier."
Yeah.
You can't be upset with him anymore.
Yeah.
Let me just buy you another one. And do you see what I mean? It's a completely different energy in the party.
Yes.
Because people are already familiar. So you see the whole thing of, generally speaking, our parties don't start till, I don't know, 1:30 seems to be the 1:30 seems to be the key. 1:30 is like
wait, remember this is New Year's Eve, people.
But in general, not New Year's Eve, but
sorry, the night
raves,
before,
just raves in general.
Okay.
1 o'clock, 1:30, because look, your party's at 10 till 4, and then people turn up 12. They come in, the coach is still on. They got to have a drink. They got to get to the bar. It's going to take another 30 minutes, 20 minutes. 30 minutes to get to the
party
bar.
Don't start till 1 o'clock.
Right. What I realized the other day from looking into it is drink takes about 25 minutes to kick in. So from the moment you start drinking, it's not instant. It takes another 30 minutes before that drink takes control.
Facts.
And then I've come in, I've gone to get a drink. It might be an hour after I come in before I'm actually ready to party, kind of thing. And I came in at 12. So that rave's not starting till 1 o'clock, 1:30. You see what I mean? So, but, and in that time, in the 10, 11, 12, 1, everyone is cold. No one knows each other.
Fair.
And not cold in temperature, but I don't know who you
the
are.
room.
I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I might have seen about the ends, but I don't know, like, what's going on? Like, are we allowed to dance? There's a lot of, excuse me, with the Getaway. By the time we get to that party, the energy that's flying around is crazy. It's electric.
Yep. You can hear it in the lifts from your room when you're coming down this lift and come out into the foyer.
But that's been as a result of all the things. Remember, we go back to the Mission Impossible Challenge. This is as a result of all these little things that we've put in place. Look, we do these workshops and masterclasses daytime, and people probably think, why do we do them? You go to a workshop and you got, even if it's 15 people, for me, that's my level of success. If we've got 15 people minimum in a workshop, it's successful. Do you know why? There's no groups of 15 people, or very few. So that means we've got 15 people together for an hour in a workshop, and there might be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. One person might come solo. By the end of that 45 minutes, you lot have got a connection that you don't even realize you've got.
Yeah,
you've got a connection
on what you're doing. Yeah,
just because you've been in the we're all in the same. We're all doing cocktail making, or we're all doing best version of me. We're all here together. So when you come across that person later on, and you're gonna come across them later on because we're all in a hotel together. Oh yeah, how you doing? You're right. Oh, what's your name? The energy is completely different from any other event I've ever experienced, kind of thing.
So let me just fill in the gap. It's an event where you take over 30s. Is it over 30s? Over 40s? Is there age?
It started at 23. Every year it was going up. So it was 24, 25, 26. Every year we put up the age.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then it got to 30. And now we don't have an age. We're just,
yeah. Well, let's say over 30s.
People know what it is, yeah.
Away from their normal cities. You bring them to Reading so far.
Yeah.
To a hotel.
Yeah.
To bring in a new year.
But it starts from
from the 2 nights before.
Yeah.
With activities, other different parties, and you get away. You literally get away from everything, everyone, and literally go and meet some new friends and socialize. And I can honestly say, for the couple that I've been to, an amazing event.
It's amazing people.
Amazing event.
And do you know what it is as well? Is that we as a people, generally speaking, we're we keep ourselves to ourselves. Yeah. So as an example, where I live at the moment, we're probably the only ones in the street that you're not really seeing in our. You don't come in our house. You don't see in our house. You don't see anything. We like the curtains have to be closed. We don't want anyone to see in. We're very kind of, if there's an issue, we keep it internal. As a people, we're generally speaking like that. And this is why when we get to the rave, generally speaking, 10 o'clock, 11, we're cold. We're not open like that. We're not, we're like, I don't know who you are, like, kind of. And the Getaway, it not even the Getaway, but when you do these things together, take it back to when I was in church. Yeah, and we got on a coach. You get on coach together. By the time we get to we're family, man. And that's what it's like. That is the same energy that you get from the. To be honest, the party only people are the people that kind of upset me a bit because they come in with their cold selves and it upsets me. Come in all cold and it upsets me because it's great to have the extras there. But I'd love if they were there even from a dinner. Because that's dinner allows you to
acclimatize.
Acclimatize. That's it. They're not acclimatized, and it's not their fault. It's normal. So I'm not even upset in that. So I'm just upset at the fact that we've got 400 people who are all warm, and then you've got another 200, 300 people.
Barriers have been broken down. Area thing has forgotten about. Manners, that, all of that is gone. Who's wearing the same outfit as me, and it's all gone.
It's like they lose out on the essence of what it is.
They lose it. And it's not that, I understand it.
What it is.
I'm telling you, I could talk to people on New Year's Eve, and I have to talk to people about different things. But I can tell who stayed over, and not by knowing who's not, because if we've got 400 people, I don't know who's there, kind of thing. But on the New Year's Eve night, if I talk to someone a couple of minutes, I'll know if you're overnight or if you've just come to the party. No, because the energy is completely, especially guys, the energy is completely different. because they're not warm. They're not. Yeah. They're very kind of. What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, that sort of thing. So it's not their fault. It's not even a negative.
I heard there's good news. You are going back to the original hotel this year. Watch the shoulders now. You got
no. So that was our last year was just before COVID.
Yeah.
So 10 years we were there. We've done, and it's an interesting one because we lost contact with them effectively, or they stopped. They stopped answering the emails, basically. So who asked them what was the worst thing, the worst moments. One of the worst moments, LL marketing. One of the worst moments is the worst moments are when an event, a venue tell you they don't want you back.
Oh wow,
that's one of the worst.
Okay.
Moments. Or you feel like you're not wanted.
You're not wanted
in a venue or in a place or that. So it's one of the worst feelings in a sense.
Can I dig deeper? Does it sometimes come to the certain individual managers though? Not so much.
Yeah, definitely.
I was about to say it's more the individual manager can't hack or handle or whatever it is. But then when a new one comes in, and let's keep it 2000. Look at the books. Wait a minute, we were doing this for how many years? Now you said no. Nah, hello. Hi, I'm the new manager of thingy. Guess what? Are you lot free?
You're still doing.
Are you? Yeah, all in the high voice. Hey, you wanna come have lunch? You wanna come back? I couldn't
have explained it better. You just explained the whole story. You explained it better.
You know what? Sorry, I'm one of those people. I don't have to be there. I don't have to.
But the only thing is, the only addition to that was that last year there was a lot of things happened. Last year there was we were a super spreader event. Yeah, we were December, and then January, bare people that came were sick, ill, gone. Some of my guys gone, couldn't get out of it.
Serious?
Because remember, COVID hit in December, but we didn't know.
Oh.
Now we've got 600 people. Plus, I think it was maybe 700 people, and they're just spreading COVID. COVID is there with us, Raven. COVID was there. COVID, yeah. Hey. What's going on? COVID was there. So next couple of weeks, even my guy, Switch, he was like, he didn't know. No one knew it was. So a load of people got sick in January, and then March is when they announced it. But remember, people were getting ill January.
Yeah.
Left, right, center. So that was our last year. But that was also the year when we done Black Excellence that year.
Okay.
The event was so powerful. There was power. And to be fair, before we even because we were toying with the idea. Remember, that's the year when black business. There was a lot going on with black businesses and Black Power, and there was something else happening. Something else happened, but it was a very strong year for black excellence. I can't remember exactly what was happening. Something major. And so, yes, I think that was the year, wasn't it? That was just before COVID, right? Around the same time. And so we done Black Excellence as that, and it was 10. It was 10 years here. That was the theme. We had, as soon as you walk in, there was a big, we hired a big one of our props, and we always do props. We always do massive props. That kind of thing.
Yes, you do.
The prop was a fist.
Yeah.
But the fist was like maybe about 1.5 times my height, kind of thing.
Okay.
It was massive. As soon as you walk in, big black fist in front of you, kind of thing. Everything was about black excellence and all that.
Yeah.
And what we didn't realize, a month before that event, they got a new manager in. And we didn't know that. Right. So it was all very kind of, and so the first time I met her was on the night. Not the daytime, it was the nighttime that I met her. Mm-hmm. And so what I thought afterwards was, she's coming. We were live, so what are all these people doing here? And then there were some issues with the bar, some major issues with the bar. They didn't have enough bar staff. You know how people get cranky when there's not enough service. Champagne was running out. Everything was running out. People waiting 20 minutes, 30 minutes for drinks. Now the staff are crying. Some staff are sent home because they're crying. They don't want to work anymore. Bar staff. that sort of thing.
Oh.
And we pushed it a little bit on the night before. She went to lock off the music at 3 o'clock, and then 3:05, we're still playing music a little bit. 10 past, the power went off. Wow. She switched off all the fuses.
Oh no! She just locked the thing.
Off all the fuses. You know, you're just like, okay, party done. So in my mind, and then COVID hit. In my mind, it was they didn't want that sort of event there, if that makes sense. But what actually happened?
She didn't want that event.
Possibly, yeah. But what actually happened was, well, this is what they say now. What actually happened was COVID. When COVID happened, they turned into a COVID hotel. You know, there were certain hotels that were only taking in, quarantine turned into a quarantine hotel. So they weren't taking any bookings at all. Next year there was no New Year's Eve. That got locked off. And then the year after, and then we found De Vere because we weren't hearing anything from answers, anything like that. Found De Vere, and then we planned that one. This is the year that they said, we're back. Everything's open again.
Yeah, right. Got you.
And then we got to October, so everything's cool, and then we're selling, and everything's near sold out. And then we get to October, and then that's when they were talking about, we might have to lock down again. A potential, yeah. And so we didn't. That was the weirdest event because we didn't actually know it was going to happen until I think it was about 7 days before the event when they okayed it. Up until then, we were again ready to do the refunds. We'd had everything. We literally had the forms ready. Because our refund process is even with Ascot, we've had to change the details of Ascot this year. Okay. And so we've had to do a whole load of refunds this year. Yeah. I think maybe about 200 cancellations also. So we've still got around 400 people coming. But we've had to limit the numbers. We've had loads of cancellations. So we've got a process in place for that. And so it's like, here's the form, fill in the form, and then we get the who wants to do it, and then we can go into the back end. And because when you're refunding, it's not like, as I say, it's not like 10 people. We're talking about refunding 200 people. Yeah, have all paid. So it's not straightforward. So we've got a whole process in place for that. So with that one, we were literally waiting for Boris to lock down because we couldn't get the money back from the hotel until he locked down. Until he locked down. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So we're literally sitting there like, well, the event's not going ahead, but we can't get the money back. You can't refund anything because the money's all there. Jeez. And the only way we can get it back is a lockdown, because obviously when we've contacted the hotel and they've said, yes, if it's a lockdown, money back kind of thing. But until we can't cancel it, you have to wait for the lockdown to happen. There's no lockdown. 7 days before, there's no lockdown. He said, yeah, okay. So, and by then, I think a lot of people had cancelled. They weren't trying to do New Year's Eve events because everyone thought it was gonna wasn't gonna happen, sort of thing. So luckily that went ahead, but we literally had 7 days kind of to pull it together because we hadn't done anything at that point. We were just everything we'd done was get everything ready to refund. That's what we were doing. Madness. And that was the first time we were there, and that turned out pretty well. Done the year after, that's when we done the pensioner party. The pensioner party. The pictures of that looked amazing. That was an interesting one because it's really hard when you try and break the norm and break what people are used to. Because people, it's a weird one. People say, we don't want the same things. We don't want the same thing. But if you do something too different, like we had one person cancelled their package altogether after they heard the theme. What? No,
so you sold it before the theme.
Yeah, so we always sell before the themes. That's why.
Nice.
We don't put out the themes. So even now we'll sell and then we'll put out the themes later. So this thing.
So because they saw pensioner party, they didn't want to do it.
No, said money back. No, didn't want to do it. We got a whole barrage of insults on social media. For people come, no, we can't. How are we gonna do this? Because and in their defense, do you know what it is? In their defense, like especially from the let me be careful with that. From the sometimes people wanna go out and dress sexy and feel sexy.
Yes.
And how do you go out as a pensioner and feel sexy at the same time? Because when you do theme parties like emergency wear, okay, cool, superhero, okay, come in like a cat suit or whatever, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with pensioner, how are we gonna do sexy pensioner?
But why has it got to be sexy,
Right,
though?
that's what we say. Yeah, but as guys, we can sit here and say that.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's me and Paul Curtis, us two are coming up with these amazing ideas. Pensioner, yeah, let's do that. And the women are saying, what? Huh? What?
No, but some of the women killed it, man.
Listen to me.
They
the ones
did
that were cussing the most, the way they came out, we had tambourine. One come with the tambourines and the penny sweet, the toffee sweets. Like, and I've never seen
The Murray mints. Yeah.
Murray mints, that was it. Yeah, she had the Murray mints, she had the tambourine. Bible, she had the Bible as well. Like, I've never seen on a theme that we've done people go into character.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, and we don't know how it's going to work out. And then I remember I'm sitting down at the entrance where to the left of me is the main door. In front of me is the main corridor to most of the rooms.
Yes.
So as people are coming out and going to the party, I can see them coming out. And I never forget, this is before it started. So I haven't seen any outfits yet.
Yeah.
And then the first group of women's come through and she's holding her back. And she's bending down, walking out.
That's what I saw in some of the videos. I saw people got into character. Even if like jungle was playing, they're moving like they're old, but they're dancing to jungle.
They were
in proper character.
She didn't walk, she hobbled over to me. Still slow, she's in character. Oh, hello, young man. How are you? Huh? They're talking in character like it was. We couldn't have imagined people were gonna. Do you know what I mean? We just we came up with it, and we'd seen someone that done it in the US as well.
Yeah,
it seemed like it would work, but the way people, I can't think of another theme where people can, because everyone became. You got to remember, everyone became their nan.
Their grandparents. They did what they know best.
What they know best. We like where they were all worried about what are we gonna do. Actually, you know exactly what to do. You grew up. You saw it. You know it. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I saw the Albus oil in the tissue, as I said, in the sleeve and things like that. I died, and I'm watching it on video. I said, "Oh, I wish I was there." Yeah. Some of the man them have their trousers all hanging baggy and slippers and they're proper and the oversized cardigan. You know, it has to be a big cardigan and them thing there. Oh, I loved it. It really looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, you can't make up that stuff. You can't plan that sort of stuff. And this is what I love about the people that come and how they view the whole thing, because even though they didn't want to do it, they done it, they enjoyed it, and now they trust us more for it. Like now we're like, when we say a theme, I need you to just trust us. Just trust us, yeah? Roll with it. And so now, and Curtis always says, look, we're always going to have one fun theme and then one dress-up theme. That's always going to be the thing. It's never going to be, and just let your hair down. And then, like, we're all that you're worried about. And some people, mainly women, didn't adhere to the dress code.
Oh, okay.
No, they didn't. And the way they felt foolish.
Yeah.
Because imagine everyone's hobbling around like this, and you're there in your sexy attire. It doesn't work.
It doesn't look right.
Work.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. It's not today.
It exposes them in a different way.
Yeah, but I get it. I understand how.
Yeah, it must be awkward for some, but
it's awkward. I get it. But if everyone does it together, then we're all in this together.
Yeah, and it is just a let your hair down moment. Right, let me push this button. Yeah. Let me push this button. Nearly 3 hours of talking to you. Can you add and believe it? Mr.XL, it's been an honor and a pleasure. From myself personally, bruv, thank you for coming on, to our humble podcast and just expressing your journey, taking us on your West Enders, forget East, West Enders story, and just letting us know, you know what I mean, what you've been through, what it's taken, who you've worked with, you know what I mean, to build up the brand, big business, and also, you know, your events that are now and still, you know, going on. And also, and I've always said it, I've said it in many a discussion when people talk about DJs, I would say easily top 3 sound systems in the country that has entertained people over the last decade. And, you know what I mean, especially in our city, and still doing it strong. So please, brother, number one, don't stop what you're doing. As you said, you've got that passion for it and you're just doing it for the love and whatever. Just don't stop it, bruv. Whatever it is, you're an inspiration to a lot of people, you know what I mean? And with your team, big up you and your team for putting on these events, because they work and they're a benchmark, you know what I mean? They're definitely a benchmark to aspire to as well, let alone attend. So thank you. I'm giving you flowers now.
Thank you.
While everyone's alive and here, we're not doing it while we're dead and all that's all rubbish. I'm giving it to you now. Well done, sir, because I've known you for nearly 2 decades, and you know what I mean. It's well more than that, but anyway, it's an honor and a pleasure. You know what I mean. And I'm really proud to have been a part of the Getaway and other different parties that you've booked before as well. So, you know what I mean. There's that appreciation as well. But please, thank you again, brother.
No, thank you for having me. It's I hope I haven't left out any parts of this.
No,
the thing, just in terms of who we've worked with and all that. So I think I've touched on most people, that sort of thing. And just in terms of the future, I'm at a weird time, a good time in my life in general, where I'm able to reflect on the past. This is why they say 40 years. Life begins at 40, I think. Gone past there, because you're able to reflect on a lot that you've done. And I'm also at a point where I realize there's still a lot to do. Brilliant. There is still a lot of learning to do. There's still a lot, like we're and I say this just from talking to and being on. We're fortunate enough to be booked by some of our older sort of our elders, so to speak, elder peers, like your Special Touches, your Studio Specials, your Fifth Avenues, etc., and that sort of thing. I listen to them, and I'm like, we got a little way to go still. We've got a little way. There's still. I say to Kafa, I was just saying it to him the other day, like we still have. There's still, and I think you should never stop. You should never feel like you're at the top of your game, if that makes sense. You might have conquered the garden, but at the back of the garden there's a gate and there's a field behind that garden.
Jeez, listen to the analogy now.
So, and when you open that, you're like, oh, here's me thinking I mowed the garden.
I mowed it.
I mowed the garden.
No.
Yeah, that garden's under control. We got that. But little did you know, there's this gate at the end, and there's a whole world at the end, and there's so much more to learn. And so I'm really, at the moment, I'm really looking forward to the next 5 sort of 10 years and what I'm learning. And this is why I'm doing this events management course at the moment, just learning more, reflecting more on what I've done and what I can do, and sort of looking up, as I say, towards people like your Jerry Bascom's and what they're doing at the moment in terms of the events. And even though Jerry was, pimping us out back in the day.
Oh, he's done it.
He's one of my favorite guys, to be fair.
He's done it to us as well. HD.
But he's one of my favorites, alongside the others that are just doing a lot, especially in terms of the holidays and events.
Everyone's leveled up. Everyone's leveled up, and I think personally, because I am the watcher, from my own standpoint, since you are talking longevity, yes, you are halfway there. You're halfway there. I think you've definitely established, as I said, a top brand that people have now grown to trust and know, you know what I mean, what they're getting in the game. Where people literally are saying it from end of summer. What, Getaway? What? Who's on it? Who's booking? And that's the talk.
People are saying it when the bloody thing finishes.
This is what I'm saying.
We're getting ourselves too. We're on sale in the next couple of days, I think.
Yeah, and this is it. When the brunches were going on, that's all I ever got in my WhatsApp group. You coming old school brunch, Butch? Are you coming? You coming? So, oh, I'm playing out. I'm playing. Yeah, but I've got to do this. I'm doing that because I work nights and they want me up by 12 and out by 1, and I'm like, but come on, man, I got bare invites, and I said, no, you know what? I've got to come down to one. And it would definitely happen. But I just said, look, them man, they lock down the daytime, kill after night time, do the thing and grow the thing. And
we're fortunate. We're fortunate that
you've worked hard. It's not a fortune thing. You look graft, and I think that's the thing that you have shared with us. It has been a graft. It hasn't come, you know what I mean? It hasn't come from nothing. It's come from smart play, using technology to your advantage, learning, not being afraid of technology. You know what I mean? There's lessons. I've been listening. Don't worry, my notes done. Get tech already. We'll listen to you. Not the greatest event person, but I like to throw a good party whenever I can. But you know what I mean? It's been an honor and a pleasure, brother. And I can't thank you more than I have already. But thank you. You've got a couple of messages in there. ASA salute. I know we need to talk to you as well, mate.
Yeah, he's part of that stuff. There's so many levels.
From Gas Club days, he used to come gas. We foundation, bruv. He's there.
Yeah. Well, we touched on that. He was there.
Vanessa
LaRose.
Continue the great work. Continue to take the money for the events. And Kate Shaw's. Oh, brilliant. That is it. Lads, I don't know if you want to say your buys or anything else. I think we should wrap it up there and then. I don't know. Mr. Diesel, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was something I was going to mention, but you actually mentioned it already, and that's one of the things that people would see you as being a success for on many levels, like high level success already, but you're still saying there's still a lot to learn, and a lot of people can learn from that learning in terms of just keep on learning, keep on growing, and look for that next step to go to. So salute, sir, salute to the team. It's always good seeing you, and the way this man throws down and the way he gets down when he's throwing down. Some of these mixes, I've almost thought there should be like a mix channel or something where you just hear mixes, just one after the other. Yeah, man. So legendary status, man. Salute.
But yourselves as well. Celebrate. Don't forget to celebrate your wins today, because sometimes we can get so focused on what we need to do next, we forget to celebrate what we've achieved up to this date. If that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I could go on. One of my defining moments in my life was my 40th birthday. Really quickly, sorry, my brother made a video. It was like a kind of "This Is Your Life" kind of video.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was an amazing video. It was a surprise. We went away for the weekend, about 20-30 of us, and yeah, it was literally that. And it was, but what the defining moment was that he basically interviewed a load of people who had been at different points in my life, sort of thing.
Oh, wicked.
So, to like Dwayne was on there, Dwayne and Johnny, DJs used to be the sound with. Dukes was on there as well. Dukes, you didn't even tell me what was happening, damn you. My manager at Lancaster Youth Centre was on there. Loads of people on there. Yeah. What it allowed me to do, because I'm a workaholic. It's like I got it from my dad. I'm a workaholic. I'm always what's next sort of thing. And that was the first time in my life, I think, that I really looked at me through the eyes of other people.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
And it was mad, because I was like, oh yeah. And you don't realize like the impact you've had on people. It could be just small little conversations and all that kind of thing. So I say to everyone, like, just I don't know how you go about doing it, but like definitely stop and sometimes just reflect on what you've achieved, because we've all achieved a lot, and it's very easy to forget that sort of thing.
Brilliant words. Indeed. Brilliant words. Mr. D's, you good?
Yeah, man. Can someone ban Charlene from the track, please?
I'm not. He definitely. Oh, this is shit. Oh, we got that up. Oh, brilliant. Literally, speaking of the chat room, thank you everyone that contributed. We're here live each and every Monday. It is the Real SoundCheck podcast. This has been a beautiful episode with a scholar and a gentleman, Mr.XL from the Big Business family. We're going to say goodnight straight away. Normally we have a little wind down, but it's after midnight too, right? We're going to run the credits. You lot have a blessed rest of the week. And thank you all, and look out for the next episode next week, Monday, 9 o'clock, right here, the Real SoundCheck podcast. Good night.
Peace,
Thank
blessings.
you.